Let's see. Are we live? Are we live? Let me know in the chat if we're live. We got 5 people that were waiting for the live stream. Guys, I don't know what to say. I appreciate all of you, for the guys that are actually waiting here for me to go live. You guys are insane. I appreciate it. I appreciate it a lot. I see that we have 5 current viewers already, which to me is just, yeah, thank you guys. I really appreciate it. I really enjoy doing these live streams. Let's have a look though. Let's see if anyone is here already, or some of you guys are waiting for me to go live and then you tune in eventually. But let's see. All right, let's have a look at today's market though. Today's market is gonna look interesting for me. There's a lot of opportunities here. You know, as I say, we have the 6 o'clock model that just opened up, right? So we're gonna have a little look and see what we're gonna look for. We still got 2 o'clock open here. If you look on the 4 hour, we might see them come back, re-rate into 2. Maybe it's gonna be a long, maybe it's gonna be a short. There's a lot of opportunities here, right? If I'm looking at the overall chart right now, I'm in a little bit of like, maybe it's gonna be a long, maybe it's gonna be short. But it depends on what is gonna happen, right? So I'm just gonna wait and see what's gonna happen. If they're gonna rate the current low for 6, we might look for the continuation model higher, right? Instead of looking for shorts. Morning, my G. Luke, you're a legend, man. That you've been waiting here for me to come live. You're a G. Thank you, bro. I really appreciate that. Make sure to smash up the likes for the guys that are watching already. Make sure to smash up the likes. It will be highly, highly appreciated. All right, let's see what's going to happen here, guys. Let's see what's going to happen here. We just opened up 6 o'clock. As you guys know, 6 o'clock is the model that we'll be trading. If I'm looking at gold, yeah, gold right now is not looking interesting to me, right? So I'm staying away from gold for now. Maybe it's going to do something. Maybe it won't. But for now, I'm going to stay away from gold. I do like Nasdaq, though. I do like Nasdaq. There's a 3-hour POI above that we could target if we were going for the longs, right? The longs would then happen around here. We look for the long continuation move higher, right? This could also be a play that we could be looking for. So yeah, let's have a see. Let's have a look. Let's have a look and see what's going to happen here. Let me know how you guys are doing. I got myself a little fruit bowl. Need to make sure that I eat something. You know, we went into the sauna, and now we're live. We're live, chilling, looking at the charts. So let's have a look here. Let's have a look what could potentially happen. So we just opened up 6 o'clock. Let's see if something like this wants to happen, or the other way, of course. So we could also look for a potential move to the upside and then to the downside. So there's multiple scenarios here. If we're looking at the higher time frame perspective, so if we're looking at it from a higher time frame perspective, for the 12-hour, we do see that we actually have a structural break here, right? So we broke structure higher. We can actually say this is a break of structure, right, to the upside, meaning that within these intervals right now, it looks like it might continue bullish. But overall, with all the sentiment going around in the world right now, I wouldn't be surprised if we actually go to the downside, right? If we're looking at ES is also looking interesting. We're actually around the open of the day on the ES, which is really interesting. So we really have to see ES first sinking down a bit lower if we want to have the alignment between ES and MNQ in this instance, right? But for now, we're going to see what happens. Are we going to rate liquidity down for the Nasdaq first, then create some form of structure on the lower time frame so we can trade it back up? That would be fantastic. If that's the case, I'll definitely put on a trade. So we just have to wait and see what's going to happen here now. We are tapping into a daily fair value gap now again, as you can see here on the 12 o'clock, right? This is the 6 o'clock open right here. And we're trying to trade this candle. And yeah, we're going to see what happens here, guys. We're going to see what happens here. So let's have a little look. We got 11 people watching already. Hope you guys are doing all right. Make sure to smash up the like. That would be highly, highly, highly appreciated if you enjoy the live streams. And yeah, maybe you enjoy it here. Stay a little while. Maybe you like it. Maybe you don't. We'll see. We'll see what happens. We're just stepping back into London Open. London Open is 3 o'clock, guys, for the guys that are wondering. So it could be that we actually tap into it, use it as a form of support in this instance to flip the 6 o'clock candle. I'm going to have a look here and see what happens. It's looking interesting, though. I do believe still that we could potentially go and sweep the lows here before we're actually moving higher. We'll have a see and have a look what happens here. If we do see some structural moves forming for the upside for 6, and it's looking already really significantly good. From here, we might actually already look for highs. The more you ask for likes, the less people will do it. Yeah, yes and no, I guess. Yes and no, I guess. I guess it's mixed, you know. Sometimes people they forget about it, you know what I mean? And I ask for it because it genuinely helps the stream. Otherwise, I wouldn't ask for it, you know? If you don't want to do it, you don't have to. You're not forced to do anything. At least not here. You're not forced to do anything. You can do whatever you like. All right, let's have a look here, though. So we tapped into, as you can see, the London Open. So we tapped into 3 o'clock. There's some orders left behind here. It's a significant opening within the day. And you can see instantly how they responded from it, right? So whether or not this is actually already the bottom wick for 6, yeah, we can't really know. We do have to see some actual structural movement taking place here before I can determine the fact that that is the case here. Also, because if I want to get involved in this market, I would rather not have my stop all the way down here. Oh, I would rather not have my stop all the way down here, because if we want to target back to the daily open, for example, it's only 1.5 our return, which is okay, which is fine, but I think we can get more out of this market. But we're gonna see what happens here. So we just tapped into it. I'm looking at the VIX here. What is the VIX doing? If the VIX actually starts sinking down here, that would really back up this position, right? So if we're looking at the VIX, we can see that the VIX actually rated current day high, which is significant, right? We rated current day high. We did not manage to rate previous day high. As you can see, that's still flat right here. In 2 instances, it's like, yeah, we did not sweep it yet, so it could still be liquidity, or they did not manage to sweep it, and it's actually showing us bearish downside potential, right? And overall, if I'm looking at the VIX in an instance, let's say we look at it on the 4-hour perspective, it's definitely moving lower, right? And we still have that relative equal lows right here resting below us. So this could also potentially be a liquidity that we want to go and seek out, right? So we have relative equal lows, right? Relative equal lows down here that are resting on the VIX. And if the VIX wants to go there, this means that the Nasdaq can go higher, right? Like I explained yesterday to you guys. So right now I'm just gonna see what happens here. If this actually wants to start sinking and we do not have a bottom wick here on this current candle, as you guys can see, this might actually be a good opportunity to look for the longs already, right? So let's have a look and see how we're gonna close the market here. And if we're going to get an opportunity here and they respect this level and we're going to go higher, and we could potentially use 6 already as our stop loss in this instance, right? So let's say they actually start breaking higher, give us some structure. We could use a 6 low as our stop, and we could target it back to 2 o'clock highs or to the daily open or towards that POI, right? So that's what we're looking for. Let's say if this is already, we're going to see if this is already the level of interest, right? Could also go and move lower. We're going to see what happens. We're going to see what happens. I'll keep a close eye on the VIX. Until then, we're just going to stay out, of course. We have to wait. We have to wait and see what the market does. All right, Marco, good morning, my friend. Hope you're doing all right. We got 18 people watching already. Guys, it's insane to me, right? I really appreciate every single one of you. Thank you for tuning in. Don't mind me. I'm eating a fruit bowl right now. I haven't ate anything yet. It's already 12 o'clock. 12 o'clock, right? So I need to eat something. So my apologies. Let's have a look here, guys. We couldn't break through 6 here. So we just have to wait. We still have to wait. It could first rate this liquidity. It could also respect this level. You just have to wait and see what happens here. Like I mentioned before, for the guys that just tuned in, gold right now is not looking anything for me, right? It doesn't look like a good setup whatsoever. So I'm not trading gold at the moment. Maybe there's something tuning in later. I would say that the shorts are highest likely to happen. It looks like right now that they might want to short back to the daily open here. If you look at the current day, you can clearly see that we swept liquidity, right? What I was looking for yesterday, the longs to play it out back to the weekly open. Right now we put a top on the week. It looks like it might want to sink lower, right? Looking at the formation now, especially also on the weekly time frame. It's still looking really bearish. On the monthly, we just went above and created a monthly top wick. It's not saying that it can't go higher, right? Like it could still go higher. And we're also trading below the yearly open here, guys, right? So we're actually creating some bearish price action for the current year. If we're looking on the 12-month candle, there is a lot of room to go down to still, right? Oh, that's interesting. We just entered the last 6 months of the year, guys. Oh, geez. 2026 is going by like it's nothing, guys. Like, genuinely speaking, it's a bit crazy if you think about it. It's a bit crazy if you think about it. Like, I could remember that it was like New Year and now we're 6 months in. Isn't that crazy? Watching from Nigeria, welcome to the live stream, bro. Hope you're doing all right. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for tuning in. Let me know for everyone who's in the chat right now. We got 24 people watching. Let me know where you guys are from. If we never spoke before, let me know where you're from. I myself, I'm from the Netherlands. I've lived here my entire life. I'm 23 years old and I've been trading for over 6 years now, or around 6 years. And yeah, now I'm doing it live. I used to trade live a long time ago as well. With another guy. I quit working with the guy and now I decided to start live streaming myself again, you know? Hopefully share some value, hopefully make some friends, bonding. Trading can be really lonely sometimes. I do believe that trading is a lonely game, right? I do believe that sometimes you have to be alone as a trader, but I also think that if you find people with the right mindset and you can bond together, you can make a lot of good stuff work together, right? So, you know what I'm saying? What's up, bro? Hope you're doing all right. We got Berg from Germany. Thank you for tuning in. Another one from Nigeria, Moski. Welcome, my friend. Welcome from Nigeria. Everything is going good with me, bro. How are you? There's a saying I always say every single day, guys. Any day above ground is a good day, right? So take it as a blessing, right? The world is too beautiful to live in suffering. We put all the, like, most of the suffering that we go through, also as traders, we put it on up ourselves, right? By comparing ourselves and stuff like that. Just enjoy the journey and make the best trades you can do, and learn along the way, and it's all gonna work out, guys. You know, it's all gonna work out. Let's have a look here. From Thailand. Hey, mate. Nice, bro. How are you doing, my friend? How are you doing? From Madagascar. Actually, that's crazy. That's crazy. I wanted to go to Madagascar, actually, to be honest. It's beautiful, man. It's beautiful. All right, let's see. How are you doing, Zar Trader? Hope you're doing all right. Everyone that just tuned in, we got 28 people watching. Hope you guys are doing all right. For today, we're looking at the Nasdaq. We're looking for potential longs right now in this scenario. Whether or not they want to take these lows first before they move higher is the question here. I wouldn't mind it. It's like pretty equal lows here, so it would be a good sweep of liquidity. For gold, I know I have it in the title, but gold right now doesn't look that good. So we might not be trading gold at all today. It really depends on how they're going to form, right? If they form something that I think looks favorable for us, then of course I would get involved. But right now it's not really doing anything. Nothing that I would say is tradable, at least. Maybe someone else has something, but for me it's untradeable. Morton, good morning, my friend. Hope you're doing all right. Let's have a look at the Forex Factory. So today we have hourly earnings coming in at 2:30 for me. So that's in 2 hours and 15 minutes. And we got the non-farm employment change, right? So we do have some news coming in. I will probably still be live around that hour. Whether we will be in a trade still, I don't know. We'll see. But we're going to see what happens. You know, I've been looking back into the streams. I've noticed that around the 3-hour mark, that's, let's say I start streaming at 12, around 1 o'clock, I start losing my energy, right? Or around 2 o'clock for me, I start losing my energy, but the market also dies down a little bit, right? So I might just go and see, okay, what is the best hours to trade? Like there's a 3-hour period. We're trying to trade a 4-hour candle or a 12-hour candle in this instance. And maybe it's good to just look at the 6 o'clock model and try to make as much as we can from the 6 o'clock creation and avoid, of course, the New York session open, because that it likes to just do random stuff. You know what I mean, guys? It likes to do random stuff. And you get intrigued to get into the market, even though it doesn't make any sense at that current time. So I might be looking to shorten in the stream a little bit, because it increases the profitability. You see what I'm saying? So we look at around a 3-hour stream every single day. That would be nice. What is the strategy that you use? I trade candle creations, really simply, right? I know it makes, I just trade candle creations. And I try to trade, have you ever heard of ICT before? But I use some terms that ICT uses, right? I have some ideologies that ICT uses, but mostly I'm focused on understanding how the market works in synchronization, right? Meaning that every candle is intercorrelated to the other candle, meaning that right now I'm trading the daily candle. I understand that we're trading below the daily candle and that the market is bullish, meaning that we might actually want to look for longs in the creation of the daily candle in the bottom half, meaning that if we get involved lower, right, if we get involved around, let's say somewhere around here, the chance of succession, if the market wants to be bullish, is way higher than trying to buy it when we're up here, right? Because then you're trying to call the top. And in this instance, yeah, we're trying to call the bottom, but we know that the actual market is bullish. You see what I mean? So that's basically how I trade. As long as it works. Well, yeah, it's working. It's working pretty good. It's working pretty good. And I also use correlations, right? So I also look at the VIX in this instance and at the dollar. And I use these to compare against the Nasdaq, as I know that they are, in this instance, negatively correlated most of the time. So this means that when the VIX starts falling down, which it potentially could do, the Nasdaq will rise, right? And this is good as a comparison. Do you trade during news releases? No, I don't. If I'm in a trade, I will be in a trade, but I don't gamble the news. I do not full port the news. I don't see any value from it. I have a certain principles that I live by when it comes to trading, and doing stuff like that. Let's say it works out, right? I'm gonna give you guys a scenario. Let's say I full port the news and it works out. I just created a habit, and that habit can't be broken unless I go over it again and again and again and again, and I eventually understand that it's not worth doing it. You see what I mean? So that's why I decided to not do it at all, because I did it in the past. And it's really hard to get rid of a habit that is favorable once, right? Because that's what your brain remembers. So anytime the news comes up and I full port the account or I try to get involved during the news and it works out, it's amazing. You feel amazing. Like there's a lot of dopamine releases in the body. But most of the times you can't predict the news, right? So I make the decision to not do it anymore. If I'm in a trade and my trade is in profit or whatever, or it's hovering around break even, I will probably take it out, right? But if it's hovering around profit, depending on how far we're gone, I take it out. If it's just in the middle, right? Let's say it's at 1 hour, I might just put it at break even and hope that the news goes in my favor. You see what I mean? So there's a couple of ways that you could manage it when it comes to news trading, but I don't try to get involved precisely at 8:30. I don't do that. I don't do that. The VIX is nice, and ICT is the stuff I'm using too. Oh, nice, bro. Yeah, the VIX is a good correlator for sure. I also look at the bond market and stuff, but that's for the longer time horizon, right? We know that the US 30 or the US 30, the 30-year yields are actually back towards almost 5%, right? We still have some room to go, but this is of course not beneficial at all, right? Look at the rising of the yields. There's a big chance that we're gonna see a massive dump upcoming in the stock market. Well, so there's a lot of stuff going on, right? So you have the IPO launching from SpaceX. A lot of the AI companies aren't actually profitable, but they're launching their IPOs to release some of the shares so they can actually make some profit, right? So you guys have to just wander around it a bit. If you guys really want to get some information from it, I will show you guys a channel. I'll send it out in the chat here that you can watch that gives you a lot of data around the Nasdaq and about the companies, because you guys have to understand the Nasdaqs are the 50 largest tech companies in the USA, right? And there's 7 companies right now. They call it the Magnificent 7 that hold like over 50% of the market value right now. Meaning that if those 7 companies do something that screws them over, like AI, for example, we have a big problem, right? We have a really big problem. Well, at least the common folks, right? Just the guys that do not have any insight regarding the problem at hand will be holding the bag, right? So make sure you are well informed. I'm not a pessimist. I'm not trying to be one. But there is always a chance that might occur, right? So you have to be aware of that. And this is the channel that I'm talking about. I shared it with you guys in the chat. Is a guy that actually shows you. He is a pessimist, right? But he actually shows you data regarding stuff at hand, right? So it's good to look into this if you guys are interested and if you are heavily invested into trading. I don't think it's a bad idea to have a little bit of a fundamental understanding, right? Did you use the stream with Lorenzo? Yes, that's me. How do you know? Do you still remember me? It's from a long time ago. Yeah, but you're right. I used to stream with Lorenzo a long time ago. 2 years ago or something, or 3 years ago. We used to live stream together. Yeah. Let's see. Morton, welcome to the live stream. I think I already said it, but I'm saying it again. I appreciate you, bro. Thank you. Rahim, welcome, my friend. Hope you're doing good. Egypt, amazing. I went to Egypt a couple of weeks ago. I stayed there for 11 days. I went by myself. It was amazing. Egypt, guys. It's really hot, by the way, but it's amazing. It's an amazing country. Really nice people. And yeah, a beautiful sea as well. All right, we got 45 people watching already, guys. You guys are fantastic. I really appreciate every single one of you. If you want to like the stream, would be highly appreciated. And if you want to tune in when I go live, make sure to hit the notification bell so you're always aware of when I go live. I'm mostly live around 6 o'clock or 12 o'clock for me, and 6 o'clock New York time. South Africa, welcome to the live stream. Panzo, hope you're doing all right. Hope you're doing all right. All right, so let's have a look here, guys. Let's see what's going to happen here. If we're looking at the following, we can see that we're still not breaking above 6 here, right? So we just have to wait patiently and see what happens. We're trying to trade the 6 o'clock candle. And yeah, until it gives us some sign to get in, we're not going to get involved yet, right? So it either wants to take the lows and then go, or it wants to trade above 6, gives us some structure, and then we can get involved. And then we also have a clear stop loss, because then we can simply use the 6 o'clock low as our stop. But because if they break it, we're wrong. You see what I mean? So that's the most, that's like why I like to trade this format so much, is because whenever I put a stop in, guys, I know that if it goes through the stop loss, I'm wrong. All right, and I understand that, of course, you could enter anywhere and put a stop and whatever, and you could put a stop here, and I understand it completely. You're wrong if you're wrong, right? But if you're trading with the creation of the candle, if they take that low, your bias is just wrong, right? And it doesn't matter, because if it then breaks the low, there's a big chance it's gonna just continue to sink lower. You see what I mean? So you don't have to put the stop all the way down here. You can put it within the range, knowing that if they break it, the delivery from the candle itself will change. You see what I'm saying, guys? Let me know in the chat if you guys understand what I mean. It's a good way of managing your risk. And as also, for me, it works really good with my psychology. As in, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But I don't have to put my stop randomly somewhere in the range on a random low, which is maybe not even significant enough, right? And this one will be, because it's a candle creation low. All right, it's Poland. Nice, Craig. Hope you're doing all right. Welcome back to the live stream. I'm eating a fruit bowl for the guys that are wondering. Make sure to get your vitamins in, guys. Make sure to get your vitamins in. All right, let's have a look. LB Trades. What's happening, bro? Hope you're doing all right. Hope you're doing all right. What a massive SMT yesterday, bro. You see that? ES actually went higher. But MNQ just sunk all the way down. Yeah, we got ES previous day high yesterday. Yeah. ES actually went higher, but MNQ, yeah, we went all the way down, bro. I actually tried to get involved yesterday at 10. I got stopped out with $100 loss, and then it went to my initial target. It is what it is, though. But yeah. Hi again from Ethiopia. Welcome back, my friend. Hope you're doing all right. Hope you're doing all right. Monday's low, first target. Yeah, you're looking for low. You're looking for shorts again. Let's have a look here, guys. All right. Let's see what's happening here. So we can see, if we're looking at the VIX here, that we already swept current day high. Whether or not they're gonna take previous day high is the question that we're asking ourselves, right? Or are they gonna come down and seek these pretty equal lows, you could say, and we're gonna go to the downside. If this occurs, I'm of course looking for longs on the Nasdaq. Either way, we're gonna just see what happens here. Right now we're in the middle. We just have to wait and see if they're gonna confirm either side, and if this happens, then we can look for a setup. I'm preferring shorts, like I mentioned before, longs, like I mentioned before. That's what I'm preferring at the moment. Whether or not this is gonna play out, that's the big question. They could also come all the way down first and then go up. You know, the Nasdaq is the Nasdaq, guys. We looked at it yesterday. We saw it happening, right? Everything was rising. The Nasdaq decided to fall down. That's just, trading is a wonderful art, guys. It's a wonderful art if you just accept it the way it is. And you know, try to make good trades, and money will naturally follow, guys. Naturally follow. Yep, bearish monthly inside candle, monthly busy, long-term draw. I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying. Yeah, I understand. I understand completely, bro. Let's see what happens, though. Let's see what happens. Let's see if this is the case. All right, let's see. What are we doing here? So we tried to break the low. We couldn't. We do not have a bottom wick on this 5, though, so that's a bit of a dangerous situation to be in. We're getting close to the new half-an-hour open here. We tapped into London Open, as you guys can see. London Open is 3 o'clock. 3 o'clock is a significant hour within the day as it opens London, right? So you can see how they gathered their orders and they actually started moving higher. You see the significant move that happened after we touched London Open, right? So it's good to look at those hours, guys. Drag them out into time. For the ones that want the indicator, let me know. I might be able now to share them with you. I actually uploaded it. So let me know if you want it, then maybe I can share it over. Let me know in the chat if you guys want the indicator for the drawn out times. Let me know, then I can share it. Then you guys can put your own times in. There's a lot of times you can put in. I've actually added a lot of them, so you have like 20, I think, in total. So you can put in whatever times you want. Yes, please. All right, let me see. I think it was here. Scripts. Yeah. All right. So it's this one. How can I share this though? Can I share it like this? Copy publication link. Let's see. Let me see if let's see if this works, guys. Let me know in the chat if this works. I hope it does. You need to adjust it yourself. You know, adjust it to whatever you like. Like it's not saved as I have it here. So if you need the precise times, let me know. But I use the pretty common ones, right? So the 4-hour opens and stuff, those are the ones that I'm using. All right, let's have a look here. We got 50 people watching, 13 likes. Make sure to smash up the likes, guys, if you enjoyed the live stream. I would be highly appreciated. That would be highly appreciated. All right, let's have a look here. If they close this bullish here on the 15, I'm willing to look for an entry for upside potential. You just have to see what happens here, because I do like it, you know, I do really like it, the fact that we're creating a bullish structure here after we try to rate lower back into 3 o'clock. If we then close above 6, then we can look for a retest of 6 o'clock like this, and then a continuation higher, right? That's what we'll be looking for here. We do need a bullish closure first, and otherwise we wait, you know, we wait and see. The VIX is still giving us downside potential, so that's what I really like. I like to see that. It gives me a good feeling also regarding the setup. But we do need to wait for a bullish closure above 6 o'clock before I can get involved here. When it comes to gold, I said it in the beginning of the stream as well. I'll repeat myself for this. I don't think it looks favorable. Maybe some of you guys do, but this for me doesn't look good to trade at all. So I'm staying away for gold for now. Maybe in the next 2 hours it might do something. But I don't feel like it's gonna do anything at all, to be honest. But we'll see. We'll see what is gonna happen. You know, we'll see what's gonna happen. So we just tapped into 6 o'clock, as you guys can see, and they couldn't break it, so we're staying below it at the moment. I need some real aggressive power here to be convinced whether or not this is gonna be the low for 6, and actually want to move higher. We did tap back into the wick, of course, from the previous 12-hour candle. As you can see, we actually tapped into 75% or 25%, and depends on how you draw it, right? And this might mean that we're bullish if they respect it, right? But right now, it's not doing it. So we just have to wait and see. No closures, no trade. So we're gonna wait. Hopefully we get something soon. Let me know in the chat, guys. Is the indicator link working? Can you put the indicator on your chart? Let me know in the chat if it's working for you. If not, I'll have to find another way to make it work. I also got some blueberries, as you guys can see. Look at that. It's good, guys. Get in your vitamins. What is your guys' bias for today? I know that LB Trades is looking for shorts. Is anyone looking for longs? If so, why are you looking for longs? If you're looking for shorts, why are you looking for shorts? Let me know in the chat. I would like to know. I'm interested in your guys' opinion. I really am. Are you still here, Jordan? You asked me a question. I said yes, but you never came back to me. What are your settings? So my settings are the following, right? So the market open reset, this allows it to not use previous times, right? So this resets the clock. You see what I mean? So it's 18 to 1801, but I do have it on New York time, right? So either you have to change it to New York time if you want it to work, right? And then the hours that I have is midnight open. So what you do is you do 000 001, right? If it comes to 2, you do 2 0, and then at the end you do a 1. You see that? So that's how you set it up. And these are the times that I currently have. So I have LDO, that's London open at 3. Then I have 22, that's a 4-hour open. 4-hour open. Midnight open is, midnight open, just as it states, right? It's from when the one from the other day switches around. So I have that one because it's significant. And then I have all the 4-hour opens besides that, right? So these are the ones that I have. It's long. But brother, since when is the London open at 3? It's always been at 3 o'clock. $3 o'clock and 9 o'clock for us. 9 o'clock in the morning. Yeah, but 2 to 5 is the kill zone, bro. The London Open is at 3. I knew I heard the action before. I used to watching you there. I used to enjoy watching you there. Oh, Jordan, I appreciate that, bro. I really appreciate that. Welcome for tuning in. I'm glad you're here. Hope you're doing all right, though. How's trading going for you, Jordan? Let me know. Is it going good for you? I hope it's going good. I'm pretty sure it will. Let's have a look here. This also looks pretty good on the 20-minute, to be honest. Let's have a look what happens here. We could trade the last 20-minute candle here for the continuation on the hour if this closes above. We do not have a bottom wick on the 15. Maybe they want to rate it down first. We'll have a look what happens here, guys. We'll have a look what happens here. We'll have a look what happens here. Let's have a look what happens here. Oh, for gold. So when it comes to gold, I'm not trading gold today. Gold is not looking favorable for me. I know I have it in the title. That's why I mentioned gold is not looking all too favorable for me at the moment. I don't really see anything here. Maybe you do, but I don't see anything. If it's a long, I don't know, bro. I gotta be honest with you. Right now, I don't think it's tradable. I gotta be honest with you. It looks like a BPR, right? Meaning that price is moving one side, so it's moving in a directional bias. It's going up, but it's not really moving, as you can see, right? Price is really going down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, right? Meaning that it's really efficient. You see what I mean? And the money is made in inefficient markets. So when price is actually moving one direction and it's going heavily up, heavily down, and then it's moving and stuff like that and seeking to make price inefficient, right? To seek new fair value where they want to trade at. So where people are okay with, okay, this is a good price for gold, right? And right now price is just stagnating. It's not really going anywhere. You see what I mean? Yes, it's going up, but it's not going up. You see what I mean? Maybe it doesn't make sense what I'm saying, but maybe it is. Let me know in the chat if you understand what I mean. But yeah, we'll see. All right, let's have a look here. So we're closing pretty drastically up now if this manages to go like this. Gonna wait for 6 more minutes. It's been good. Trading for 6 years now. I don't trade your strategy or Lorenzo's, but I enjoy seeing other people take on the markets. Nice, Jordan. I appreciate that, man. Glad you're here. Glad you're here. Still gonna go down. You're talking about the Nasdaq? You're talking about gold? Let me know. Yeah, it could still go down. It could still go up. That's the market, guys, right? That's the beautiful thing about the market. It can go either way. It can go either way. And that's what I find so funny about it. It's like, let's say I have a bias that I think the market is going to go down. Someone else can have a bias that he thinks the market goes up. And in the end, we could both be right. You know what I mean? Like, that's the beautiful thing about it. It's like, I could be involved now. Let's say I'm longing now, for example. I could be right now, and someone is looking for shorts here, and he could make money to the downside for the shorts. You see what I mean? That's why I think trading is such a beautiful art, guys. I really do believe trading is a beautiful art. Let's have a look here. I'm gonna draw out the 6 o'clock open. to have a bit of an understanding of what's happening here. Let's have a look. How much is this? So we're talking about 40 points. Okay. Let's have a wait for the new 20-minute to open up. And then we're going to try and get involved here, right? If this actually closes like this, I would highly have a high conviction here. Also looking at the VIX. If you're looking at the VIX now, you can see the VIX is actually selling off drastically. So that's good. We're respecting, you could say, the support level, right? Or this resistance level in this instance. As you guys can see, we're respecting resistance. So this might actually continue down. We still have that inefficient low at the bottom here, what I would be looking for on the VIX. Let's hope we can get involved here. I take a long position on NQ. Oh, nice, Andrew. Nice. I hope it works out for you, Andrew. I hope it works out for you. Also for me, if I get involved here after the new 20-minute, right? And then we can trade it back up towards the daily open, but we will also be depending what the target is based on what the VIX is doing here, right? So I'm waiting for the new 20-minute to open up here, and then I'm looking for a potential setup. And yeah, maybe we can trade it back in here. Let's have a look. So we also have a gap, as you can see. We have a lower closure than a higher open, right? Meaning that there is a gap here on the 12-hour. So we could potentially just trade it back towards this gap and look for around a 2R trade. Maybe even just looking for 2R back towards 2 o'clock would be a sensible thing to do here. It would be nice. We're going to see what happens here. We're waiting for the new 20-minute to open up within 3 minutes from now, and then we're going to look for a potential setup to the upside. A potential setup to the upside. Let's see. If I'm looking at this also on the VIX, it's looking really good, as you guys can see. So if you look at the formation, we swept liquidity internally, right? Swept liquidity here internally, moving down, looking for a good closure. Price is moving down. We do have this relative equal lows to the downside also on the VIX, which I like. Inefficient price action here. We do have no bottom wick, as you guys can see. The same thing here, right? They came to rate it out. So that's something that happens more often than not. So I think it's looking good at the moment, right? I think it's looking favorable. We're just going to wait. We have to wait for the new 20-minute to open up here. And once this opens up, yeah, we're going to try and get involved. We're going to try and get involved. But let's see what happens here. I'm on my phone for a sec. Give me 1 second, guys. Okay. All right. Let's see what happens here. We got 59 people watching, by the way, which is insane already. Hope you guys are doing all right. If you enjoyed the live stream, make sure to hit the notification bell so you can be here when I go live, and you don't miss anything of the analysis and stuff. If you think that it's valuable for you. Let's have a look here. So yeah, looking at the 4-hour, yeah, we do also, yeah. I think it's looking really good at the moment, right? We got to remind ourselves, the more a trade looks better, the worse it can be, right? That's the thing about trading. But right now, it does look favorable. It does look favorable. It does look favorable. You're looking for 30,040, yeah. So you're looking for this high, basically, right? Andrew, you're looking for this high. I hope that works out for you, my friend. Mr. Jacoba, my friend, I appreciate you. I really do appreciate you. Thank you for tuning in once again. Hi, it's me. Nice. I appreciate you, my friend. Hope you're doing all right. All right, let's see how this is going to close. Let's see if they actually want to come back down, though. That's the big question, right? That's the big question. We will be putting our entry in 1 minute and 20 seconds. And hopefully they give us a wick to the downside here to enter. We'll see if this is the case or not. The VIX is selling off pretty drastically here, so that's nice. Nice and good to see. Good to see. That's good to see. Let's have a look, though. Let's have a look whether or not they want to come down on the next 20-minute candle here. All right, let's see. Let's have a look here. We got 50 more seconds left here, guys. If we're looking at the VIX, if I'm looking at the VIX here, it's definitely closing bearish. You can see that we respected this level, like I mentioned before, on the hourly, and it's looking really good also on the 20-minute. I think it's looking favorable for us, right? I think it's looking favorable. It looks like it wants to sell lower. This means that in the most ideal scenario, the Nasdaq is going to keep rising. So if that's the case, I'm going to try to get involved here, right? We're going to try to get involved. Let me also put this one on this chart so I'm aware of that gap. All right, 20 more seconds left. All right, I'm going to put in the buy limit. I'm going to put the buy limit. Let's see, 2 contracts. So we have a buy limit set on yeah, just above this level, around 62.50-ish, around that level. And we're gonna see if the next 20-minute wants to come down and give us an entry here. It needs to come down pretty far, right? But I've seen it happen before. If it doesn't, it is what it is. But we'll see. We'll see whether or not it wants to do it for us. If not, it is what it is, guys. You know what I mean? It is what it is. What are you guys looking for? Let me know in the chat. I'm still eating my melon and my kiwi and blueberries. I'm enjoying it. All right, let's see. Let's see what happens here. See that price is moving down a bit. Let's see if this is gonna come back to us and give us an entry. That would be nice. Balloons. I look for sell. Are you looking for sells? Are you looking for sells on the Nasdaq, or are you looking for sells on gold? If you're looking on gold, or you're looking on Nasdaq? Let me know what you're looking at. The US 100. I see. Yeah. Yeah, you might be right. You know, you might be right with the sells. I'm just looking for the longs. I might be wrong, as you know. Like, I'm not always right, guys. You have to understand. I'm not always right. But I'm not always wrong either, right? I'm 50. I'm a mix. I've, based on everything that I've gathered over the years, I have around a 50% win rate now. And it sometimes rises up a little bit. Sometimes it goes down a little bit. It just depends on the market, right? In the end, it depends on the market. Nothing is fixed in the market. It's in constant changing, right? That's the beautiful thing about trading. But you also have to adjust yourself accordingly. No, don't say that. He's lying. Chasing is lying, guys. He's lying. Don't do that. I'm not a financial advisor, and I'm not a magician either. I wish I was. We will all be rich if that was the case. But sadly, that's not the case. All right, let's have a look here. Let's have a look what's going to happen here. We can see that 2 is actually untouched, which I like. Right? So we can come back to 2 o'clock. It's a pretty neat target, to be honest, right? I'm soon a magician. Mark my words. Nice, bro. I hope it works out for you, my friend. I really do hope it works out for you. That would be fantastic. We also got a new hour coming in soon as well. We do not really have a bottom wick on this 30. We have to keep that in mind. Of course, they might want to come and take that out and then go higher. We'll see if this is the case or not. On the 20-minute, is looking really favorable. Let me say it that way. On the 30, it's a bit of a mix, you know. If they come all the way back down, take it out. You do need to see that sweep back up again. But we'll see what happens here. All right, the VIX is rising higher again. So let's have a look here. So as you guys can see, we are rising higher now on the VIX. Let's see if they really want to go higher than this or not. We already tapped into this fair value gap on the VIX. This is 6 o'clock open is right here, right? So you have 6 o'clock open. They actually rose up, took liquidity, and then went lower. Let me mark this out actually, so I have a bit of an understanding here. So we got 6 o'clock right here. Let's have a look. Let's have a look what happens here, guys. Our buy limit is set. Let's see if this wants to play out, or this is gonna sink all the way down and take us out. You never know. You never know, do you? That's the beautiful thing about trading. So you never really know what's gonna happen next. All right, so let's have a look here. So what is your guys' plan for this weekend? The weekend is coming near, guys. It's already Thursday. The week is flying by just like that. Pop. Week is gone. I didn't trade on Monday. I wasn't live on Monday. I don't think Mondays are like something that I like to trade personally. So I might not go live on Mondays, but I will be there on especially Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Friday is also a bit of a mix for me. Gotta be honest with you. I feel like sometimes it's a bit of a fight, you know, because it's the beginning of the week, and that sets the standard for the week most of the time, right? So you have Monday. I mean, look at Monday. I mean, look at it. Look at the price action on Monday. So you had nothing at all, right? You had nothing at all. Right here, nothing at all to be traded. Then a big sell and then a big buy. It was an interesting market on Monday, that's for sure. It was an interesting market on Monday. My win rate is 77.78% with 1-to-1 R on paper trading, 80 trades. Nice. 1-to-1 R is always a bit of a dangerous thing though, because it means that you need to be right 80% of the time to make money. Well, you can make money 60% of the times, but it's a bit of a, you know, sometimes a bit tough, bro. Maybe if you can try to increase it to 1.2, right? So 1 to 1.2, that already gives you an insane extra edge if you then stay around 70% still. It gives you an insane edge extra. So maybe try to see if that works out for you. And maybe it does work. You know, if you can make $1 million trading 1-to-1 Rs, just do it, bro. Don't listen to me. Who am I, right? Who am I? But yeah, we'll see. All right, let's have a look here. We're coming close. We're nearing in right now. We do have to look at the VIX here, which I don't really like. Is the VIX is actually moving drastically higher at the moment. So I do need to see some rejection forming here for this to be valid for NQ, right? For this to be valid on NQ. So we have to see what happens here. Whether or not they want to do it is the big question, right? Whether or not they want to do it is the big question. But we'll see, because this could also be a short-term high, right? A wick down lower, continuation play higher again, right? The market is such an interesting space to be in, guys. It's it could go both ways. It could look short one moment, it could look long the other moment. It could do like anything it wants to do, basically. That's the market. That's a market in a nutshell for you, which I really find interesting, guys. All right, let's see. We still have our buy limit set though. Let's see if they want to come back down for us and give us an entry. Give us an entry for the potential longs here. Thanks. No problem, bro. Don't worry about it, man. Don't worry about it. You don't have to thank me. You did it all yourself, man. You made it work. You made it work. Don't thank me for anything. All right, let's see what happens here, though. Because we do still have those equal lows, right? We do still have those equal lows. So they might want to sweep that. And we might get taken here. And then we have to wait for the sweep. And then we try and get involved again if they're not validating this level for back to 2 o'clock, right? We'll see. We'll see if this is the case or not. We'll see if this is the case or not. Let's say we get stopped out on this position. Like I said, right? Like I like this because I can put my stop below 6 low. And if I'm wrong, I'm just wrong. There's a big chance if they take this that they're going to seek towards this low, right? And if that happens, I'm still preferring longs. So then I'll wait for that to occur. And let's say I'm wrong. Yeah, then I'm wrong, you know? It is what it is. But we're not wrong if we're not right, and we're not right if we're not wrong. So it's just it's part of the game. It just happens. Let's see. We got 70 people watching, by the way, which is just, I don't know what to say, guys. I don't know what to say. I appreciate every single one of you to tune into the live stream. Make sure to smash up the like if you like the live stream, and hit the notification bell so you can be here when I go live at 6 o'clock every day on the New York time, right? New York time, 6 o'clock. Let's have a look here. What are you guys looking for? Let me know in the chat. Are you guys looking for shorts, longs? If you're trading something else, maybe I can look at it. Let me know what you're looking at. I see that gold is actually selling off a little bit, but it's been ranging so much that I don't really want to get involved here. I see Jason is looking for longs as well. He likes the longs. And let's hope we're right here, bro. Let's hope we're right here. We can actually see on ES that it's also looking pretty favorable. And yes, we did already tap 2 o'clock on ES though, which is something that we have to keep in mind. That already occurred, right? But yeah, we'll see what happens here. We'll see what happens here. Whether or not they wanna go higher first to go lower, or they wanna go lower instantly from here is the big question, right? Is the big question. Is the big question. Let's have a look here. Yeah, oh, okay, interesting. So we also have flat tops here. I actually didn't see, I was completely blinded by it, but we have flat tops here also on the hourly, which could definitely be something to target, to take out, and then it could still go to the downside, right? I'm waiting for 8 a.m. if the setup occurs before NFP or after 8:30. Yeah, so I'm not gonna trade the NFP, right? So what I hope to get involved now to get a setup if and you know take some money out of the market, but I won't be trading NFP or after the NFP personally, right? So I hope something happens now. If not, then yeah, it is what it is. You know, we still have some time before it happens. Like the NFP is still a couple hours away from now. So we still have some time. It's like an hour and 30 minutes. Should be enough for a trade to play out. It should be enough for a trade to play out. Whether it wants to is the big question, right? It could also be that it happens later on in the day. But yeah. I've noticed, I'm gonna be honest with you guys, I've noticed that if I stream for X amount of hours on a continuous basis, I stop drinking coffee, by the way. Maybe that's also a causal factor. But if I stream on a continuous basis for multiple hours, I lose focus. You see what I mean? So I lose focus, I'm more reluctant, I'm more easily into positions, and I notice that I then make mistakes. You see what I mean? And that's not beneficial for you, and it's also not beneficial for me because I make bad habits by doing so. So that's why I rather just stay behind the charts for X amount of hours that I know that are like highly profitable hours if the setup presents itself. And then I just step away from the charts because that's what I used to do when I wasn't live streaming. Or that's what I used to do or what I actually do when I'm not live streaming. So it's the same stuff right now. You see what I mean? Very often, less is more. Bro, it's always the same, bro. It's the saying that I have. Less is more. Like, truly, I have it written down on a whiteboard. Less is more. Like, no jokes. I'm going to show you guys right now that I'm not lying. Look. 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 You see that? Less is more. Do not trade, just the trade. And that's really the case, guys. All right? So I have it written down on the whiteboard because it really is like that. If you trade just to trade because you want to, give yourself that feeling, that dopamine release. If you're just trading to trade, you're going to lose money. And that's not the game we're in here, guys. We're trying to make good trades and step away when nothing is presenting itself. So I have that written down, my friend. I have that written down. So it's funny. It's funny that you mentioned that. All right, let's have a look here. Got a new 20-minute coming in and a new hourly, actually, within a couple of minutes from now. So let's have a look here. Yeah, one setup. Yeah, if you think about it, if you can take one setup a week or two setups a week, right, that are high conviction plays, and you just accept that it's gonna take you 2 months to get to a payout, but you can do that over 20 accounts. You're making a shit ton of money, guys, right? But we want to do it now. That's the problem with human behavior is we desire something, so we want it now, right? But the funny thing about it, if you think about it, if you desire something, you don't need it because you don't have it yet. You see what I mean? So, of course, if you want to make money, but if you think about, let me rephrase it. What would change if you don't trade? Nothing, right? So you're still in the same location. So nothing really goes a different direction. The only thing that changes is once you step into the trade. You could lose money or you could make money, right? So the only actual change happens once you enter that position. So you have to be really convinced about it. That's the thing, right? Because that's the best thing. If you're in a good position and it also changes depending on if you have some more money coming in and stuff, and you're in the freedom to make those decisions. It's completely different, of course, right? But if you want to make money without having a lot of money, you need to be wise about your decisions, right? It's a little bit lower, right here. You need to be wise about your decisions, guys. It's really important. It's really important. All right, let's see. 6 minutes until the new hour. Right now, both directions is possible with SMT on the previous day high and SMT with NQ previous day low. So NFP will clear this up, in my humble opinion. Yeah, it might actually do. It might sweep both sides. You never know. It might do that. NFP is a whipsawing event. It could do crazy stuff. It could do definitely crazy stuff. Let's see if they want to give us an entry here, though, or they're going to move without us. We'll see what is the case here. I hope they're going to come back to 6 and tap it. Maybe on the next hour. This could also be on the next hour. So we're going to wait. We're going to wait and see whether or not they want to do it for us. We're going to wait and see whether or not they want to do it for us here, guys. We got 80 people watching, by the way, which is just insane. Thank you, guys. I really appreciate every single one of you. Welcome to the live streams. I'm Thomas. I go by the name of Thomas Jacoba. I've been trading for 6 years, for the guys that don't know. And I used to be part of an educational company back in the day. I'm no longer part of that. It's been a couple of years. But yeah, I used to live stream there as well for every single day of the week for multiple hours a day. A lot of the guys that are in the chat actually know me from back then. And yeah, now we're back on the live streams, but then on YouTube. You know, I used to be live streaming on a private community in front of a lot of people, 200, 300 people. And we used to trade together, have fun together. Yeah, and now I'm trying to do the same stuff here, you know, trade live with you guys and try to make some bankroll and learn about trading, you know, learn about trading even more. That's the goal here. That's the goal here. Big boy, yeah, you keep saying so. Yeah, thank you. I appreciate it, my friend. All right, let's see. We have 4 minutes until the new hour. If we're looking at the VIX, is something that I'm a bit of concerned right now. If you look at the VIX, you can see that the VIX is actually flipping bullish. All right, so we do have to keep that in mind, and I do have to watch out for that, because if the VIX actually wants to continue higher, this contradicts our trade, right? So I can't execute it unless we actually get some momentum to the downside again on the VIX. So right now we're just gonna wait and see. We're not nearing our entry as of yet. We still got a new hourly coming in. This might actually still rate it up, go down, close it lower, and go to the downside again on the VIX. But if this doesn't occur, I do have to take out the buy limit for now, because yeah, I'm not going to trade against the VIX, guys, right? It's a correlating asset from the Nasdaq, so I have to make sure that everything is aligned in that sense. That's the most important part here. Let's see though. Let's see what happens. We still got 3 more minutes, so we have time enough. And the VIX is a slower moving asset, right? It's not as drastically fluent as you can see as in comparison to MNQ, right? This one is just staying at 6 for a longer period of time. And that's not happening on, yeah, on MNQ. It just moves. It just moves. All right, so let's look at gold here for a second. Gold looks like it might want to tank lower. I'm personally not involved, and I probably won't be involved, because it could also go to the upside. It's just a bit of a mix. If I'm looking at the higher time frame here, if you look at the 12 o'clock candles, it looks a bit of a mix. You see that, what I'm saying? Like, you don't really have a bottom wick on the current day, but we went into a higher time frame POI and we're stagnating here. It could also try to seek higher, you know? It's try to seek higher. Is this your first live stream? No, it's not my first live stream. It's not my first live stream. Well, it's one of the first. Like, I've been live streaming now on this channel for like a week and a half, I think, or 2 weeks, which is insane. We got 80 people watching. So yeah, it's yeah, I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say. It's going good. It's going good. Are you Dutch? Yes. Are you a fellow Dutchman? Good day, brother. Quick question. What's your gold output? Yeah, so that's what I just discussed, right? Right now I'm unbiased on gold. I don't think gold is looking good. You see that? I don't think it's tradable at the moment. So personally, I'm staying out of gold. And I'm looking at the Nasdaq for now. If you look at the NAS, if we're looking at the NAS is way more tradable. You see that? So also on the 3 hours, look, oh, it's looking way nicer right now on the 3 hour as well. So I think personally that the Nasdaq is looking more favorable for us than gold, right? We actually had a nice trade yesterday on gold, but right now I'm just looking for the Nasdaq, because I think it's moving a bit nicer. Good job, Thomas. Thank you, Clayton. I appreciate it. I appreciate it, my friend. All right, let's have a look. So what is happening here on the NES? So NES is actually flipping bullish now without tagging us in. Let's see. We still have a new hour coming in a minute from now. It could still come all the way down. And as you guys can see, we still have a level of support here, right? You have an open and a closure here. And a small, tiny gap, if you can see that here. So you have a lower closure. You have a higher closure and a lower opening. So this is a gap, right? This is a gap in price based on the closures. So they could also come back in here potentially, right? They could come back in here potentially. We'll see if this is the case though. The VIX is also selling off again. So, oh, it actually just popped back up the moment I switched it to the chart. But we'll see what happens here. We'll see what happens when we're coming near our entry. Is the VIX selling off? Is it buying? Whatever is going on. And then we can make our decision. Are you trading props or personal? Both. I trade both, but right now we're trading a prop account. We're trading a prop account right now. I actually had an account that I was trading up since the beginning. I started live streaming. It was like up $1,700, but I accidentally entered 3 NQ contracts instead of micro contracts. So that account was gone in a couple of seconds, sadly. But yeah, it happens, you know, it's a stupid mistake. Do you also mentor? No, I don't. I don't. I do not have a mentorship. I do not have a mentorship. I don't. I don't. I do have some videos on how I see the market though. If you want to see that, you could I could show it to you. It's an unlisted video on YouTube. I will share it with you guys. For the guys that are interested, you can. I don't need anything for it. Let me see. I'll share it in the chat, and you can, if you like it, just let me know in the comment section whether or not it helps you. Let me see. Get shareable link. All right, so I dropped it in the chat. This video what I'm talking about now is about time frame synchronization, right? I think personally it's a really good video. Some might say it's different, but I think it's a good video. For the ones that are interested, I just dropped it in the chat. It's a free video. It's unlisted. It's not on YouTube, right? So you can only watch it through the link. But it's about how I look at the markets, right? So how I synchronize the times and how I use it in a tradable format, basically, right? Tradable format. Let's see that the hourly time frame is rising pretty drastically. For looking on the VIX now, it is actually moving down. Maybe we're not going to get involved here. I hope we do, but we'll see what happens here, right? Whether or not they want to give us the entry from 6 is the big question. It actually went from this 5-minute fair value gap. Yeah, I hope they're going to come down. If not, then this trade probably runs without us. And that sometimes happens, you know? It sometimes happens. We'll see whether or not they want to come down again and give us the entry. We'll see whether or not they want to do it. We also still, it's like the extreme, right? So yeah, sometimes you miss out on positions, guys. C2 confirmed. Yeah, I agree. I think the closure on the current hour is really beneficial. I do not want to get involved here, though. I need to get involved below. So I would like to see it come all the way down here. That would be amazing, but it might not do that. We'll see. If they hit 2 o'clock, I'm unbiased afterwards, guys. We have to see what happens. Whether or not I can get involved is the big question, right? That's the big question we're all been waiting for. If we're looking at it from this perspective, yes, maybe I could have entered when 6 actually put in the low at 3, you know, right here. Could have entered here. But I needed some confirmation, guys. I needed some confirmation, so I decided to not get involved. Whether or not they're going to give us the entry now is the big question, right? That's the big question. Tell me, Thomas, what country in the world has the hottest women? I don't know, bro. I think, I don't know. I have no idea. I think there was a study going around and they said it was Sweden. But I'm not sure whether or not this is the case, right? I have no idea, bro. I think anyone can find a woman that they like in any country that they're in. So, you know, I don't think that has anything to do with the country, bro. I don't think it has anything to do with the country. Flipping Antarctica. Yeah, maybe. You don't know. You don't know. You might actually in Antarctica. That's crazy. Let's see. All right, so we're moving down. Let's see whether or not it wants to give us the entry here on the current hour. It wouldn't be that bad if they actually go down, because it then sweep some liquidity here, right? So they would sweep some liquidity internally. That would be nice. Anyone that's trying to buy it early would be taken out here. Plenty of penguins there. Yeah, you're right. There is plenty of penguins on Antarctica. There is plenty of penguins. That's funny. Really nice. Eat your fruits, guys. Eat your fruits. It's really good. It's good for you. We got 86 people watching still. Welcome to the live stream. We're looking for longs. For the guys that are wondering that just tuned in, we're looking for longs. The buy limit is set, as you guys can see. as you guys can see. Make sure to smash up the like, by the way, if you enjoyed the live stream. So we got 86 people watching. I would highly appreciate a like. I would highly appreciate it. Okay, something I do need to keep in mind is that we're actually moving really hard to the upside right now on the VIX. So we have to keep that in mind here and see what's going to happen on the VIX. If they move up and we're not near our entry yet, I wouldn't mind it, right? Because let's say they come back towards the daily open here for the VIX, and we then get tapped into our entry, there's a big chance the VIX is going to reject of it, right? But I do need to keep this in mind, guys. I can't just, if the VIX keeps rising, I might have to take the buy limit off, right? So we have to be looking here. I'll be paying close attention to the VIX to see what happens. Here. I'm gonna see what happens. Careful with those fruits and berries, mate. You're gonna put on a lot of weight eating them. Really? Really? Yeah, there's a lot of sugar fruits inside, right? There's a lot of sugar fruits inside. All right, let's have a look here. Or he's joking. I'm not sure. Colombia. All right, let's have a look here. Let's see what happens here. Just pulling your leg. I was about to say, but I understand that like if you eat berries the entire day or you eat like grapes and stuff, there is a lot of sugar in grapes, right? Like it's sort of healthy sugar to a degree, but it's still sugar. You need to have a mix, guys. You need to have a mix. All right, let's have a look here. What is happening here on the VIX? I'm just focused in for a second here, guys. So when I'm looking here at the VIX, right? At the VIX, we're actually starting to reject again at this high. But the question is, are they going to break it? Yes or no? I'm really careful here. We're still not in our entry, but I'm really careful here because if the VIX decides to just push higher insanely hard, there's a big chance that the Nasdaq is actually going to keep sinking lower, right? So I'm looking really carefully here. You said you do a prop firm. Can you recommend one? I'm not really about recommending, bro. I can say you which one I'm using. That's Lucid, right? And they're good. When it comes to like having payouts, I have payouts on Topstep. I have payouts on my funded futures. I have payouts on Bullnox. I have a payout on Top 1 futures. I just started with Lucid, right? So I haven't get paid out with them yet, but I know a lot of other people got paid out with them. So, but when it comes to recommending them, let's say I in the future would work with a prop firm because I know that there's some prop firms that would like to work and do partnership and stuff like that. I wouldn't work with a firm if I don't believe with their principles, right? Because a prop firm is a business in the end, so they're also there to make money. But I think then they also need to be favorable for the trader. So I'm really reluctant when it comes to shouting out firms, bro. I'm really reluctant regarding that. Just make sure that when you use a firm that you read their FAQ. What you could do is you just or their help center basically. You just copy their agreements and stuff, and you put it into JetTPP or into any other of the bots, and you just ask any hidden rules, right? So you make sure that you are well aware of what they could do to you if you decide to do something which they don't like, right? Just make sure you're aware of that. You sure you couldn't be bought if the money is right? That's a good question. That's a really good question. The only thing is, right, if you think about it, let's say a firm offers you 20K a month, right? Whatever. 20K a month is nice if you think about it. But if you do good and proper business and you deal in good faith, and in my attention, in the future, I would like to have my own fund, right? So I know that the future is way brighter if I don't screw people over. Because your name is on the internet, right? If you screw people over live, you're done. You see what I mean? You're done. It's over for you because everyone knows you and you're known in the space, and you just ruined your whole business opportunity for the future. And I'm only 23 years old. I don't see any point of screwing anyone over. You see what I mean? Like, I don't see the point. No, I know you're kidding, but it's a good question. It's a good question, because there's a lot of people out there that do that, you know? Like, I can assure you, there's a lot of people out there that do that. So you have to be, you know, you have to be careful with that, man. Like, it's just, it's a tough space, the trading industry. It's a really tough space. All right, so let's see. We're actually rejecting lower again, so I like that. We've not tagged in yet, but yeah, we'll see what happens. TJR, real or fake? Yeah, you're asking me a question, bro. I truly believe the guy can trade. I truly believe the guy can trade. Whether or not he was really profitable before he started selling mentorship is the question, right? But I do believe he can trade. But I guess the thing is, bro, like as I said this before with a lot of trading influencers, it's like it's not hard to make money trading if you have a lot of money. You see what I mean? Like, genuinely speaking, it's not hard to make money if you have a lot of money, because you can just fund an account and refund it again if you're wrong. You know, and you show the profits that you're making, and sometimes you genuinely make a lot of profit. But yeah, you know, it's, you know, faking that you know how to trade is not that hard if you're not trading live. And he does actually trade live. You see what I mean? So it's like, yeah. Is there anyone gas to long gold? Yeah, I'm not trading gold, bro. I gotta be honest with you. Right now, I don't really like it. I don't really like it personally. I think it's a little bit of a BPR, so a balanced price range. It's just moving up and down. You see what I mean? So I'm just flat on gold. I'm just flat on gold. Yeah, that's what that's what I mean, right? As in, because there was a video by that Iman guy, that Iman Trades or whatever, about the exposure about TJR, right? I watched it. I don't think it's that big of an exposure, bro. Everyone goes through that stuff, you know? Like, I never lent money, or never actually, how do you say that? Take a loan from my friends and stuff and all that stuff. I never did that. But I feel like everyone that makes it in trading goes through a rough patch. And to then say that he didn't make it, even though he's doing it live, yeah, I'm like, yeah. And again, guys, I said this before. If you buy something from someone and they end up not being the guy that they say they are, but you learned a lot of stuff from them, because anyone can tell you the information. That's why I'm saying, like, there's a lot of technical stuff there for free, and a lot of stuff actually works. So anyone has the power to tell you the information. Whether they can execute it is the question, right? That's the big question. Are you in a position to execute on what you're teaching? And some people, they are better teachers than executors. You know, it's just how it is. It's just how it is. Like, if you look at the boxing world, for example, some of the box trainers, they are genuinely amazing trainers, really good, but they wouldn't be able to step into the ring themselves, right? But they know the art of boxing precisely. They can box, and they know how to teach it to their pupil, to their student, right? And they become the best in the world. But they're not jumping into the ring. You see what I'm saying? So you have someone that needs to be able to be like a sponge, and they take in the information and they know how to execute it. They're young, fit, healthy, right? And same stuff in trading. Some people, they are good they're good traders, and they're also good teachers. And then you can help other people that are, yeah, way better in just, being a trader, because being a trader is a lifestyle. You need to, and I think it's certain personalities that manage to do really well with it. Like, you need to have a lot of discipline in life. Okay, it's just moving away. No bottom wick though, so it could still come back down. We'll see if this is the case. The VIX is selling off again, so as you can see, the VIX is selling off again, so it's aligning, that's for sure. But yeah, it's like, you need to be, as a trader, you need to be really disciplined in life, and some people don't have that. But discipline is something you can create, right? And some people, it's just, there's a lot of stuff you can create being a trader, and you can become. I think anyone can become a trader. It's just it's a hard journey, It's just a hard journey. Do you trade your props on a copier or in rotation? I don't trade them in a copier, no. I trade them in rotation, for sure, yeah. But I do copy them. If I trade them, I do copy them, but I don't copy the whole group. Does that make sense? So like I don't, right now I only have accounts with my funded futures. Besides this, I had the payout on Topstep. I took home $17,000 and then I blew them. Nice, right? I blew them. For some reason, I made the decision to blow them. And then they came with the new rule changes, right? So I had the old accounts, the ones that you can take more money out of. And then they changed it to $2,000. And when it comes to like the risk to reward ratio, when it comes to Topstep and Lucid, man, I'm not going to pay double for a 50K account. I'm not going to pay double for a 50K account, right? Like if you trade with Topstep, you have to pay 21% extra fees. At least we here in the Netherlands have to pay 21% VAT tax over the accounts, right? So the account itself is already $100, or it's even higher now. And then I also have to pay 21% over the $100. There's $120 USD for a 50K account. And when I'm at Lucid, if you have a good discount code, you get them for $60, right? Which is a major difference. It's a major difference. It generally is a major difference, as in how much you're risking, you know, and stuff like that. So yeah, that's how I look at it, bro. But I think in the end, it also depends on how confident are you and stuff like that. Because if you could also buy 150K accounts, get more drawdown, stuff like that, and then I would say maybe go for Take Profit Trader. You know, I think they are good. They're really good. I had a 25K pro with them back in the day. I blew that as well, you know. Part of the game. Part of the game. Part of the game. Yeah, let's see what happens here, guys. Right now we're just ranging. Not really. Yeah, we're moving higher, obviously, but I hope we can get involved here, right at the bottom. And it might happen in the next half an hour. We just opened a new 15-minute candle. Who knows? Who knows? It might do it for us. It might do it for us. Let's have a look, though. Let's have a look. Let's have a look and see. Thanks for the explanation. No problem, my friend. No problem. Any day of the week. Any day of the week. So, guys, in the chat, let me know where you're from. We got 88 people watching. Let me know where you're from. Right now, we're just waiting for the long setup to play out here. I know I have gold in the title. Gold's not looking favorable for me, so I'm not trading gold. But we're looking for a long here on the NQ, on the Nasdaq. 020. Okay, grap. Lekker, jongen. South Korea, Norway, yes. South America, nice. I like that. I like that a lot. I like that a lot. All right, let's have a look, though. From France. Oh, is that how you say it? Je m'appelle Thomas. I think is that how you say it? Wait. Je m'appelle meaning. Oh, yeah. Yeah, je m'appelle Thomas. Yes, I've learned something in school. Yes, very nice. Where in Norway are you from? Oh, someone asked you, where in Norway are you from? Iran, welcome to the live stream. Hope you are all right. Poland, yes. All right, let's see what happens here. We are moving pretty hard to the upside on the VIX. Let's see what's going to happen here, guys. Are we going to survive and thrive? We have to be really careful here. So when I'm looking at the VIX, we do have these equal highs. They could sweep those. And then we have the actual reversal to the downside again on the VIX, right? We are coming close to our target here, or to our entry on the Nasdaq. Switzerland, nice. Switzerland is nice. I said it yesterday as well, right? Switzerland, guys, is, man, it's so beautiful, right? How it looks there. So amazing, the high mountains and stuff. I'm gonna show you guys. You guys need to see this. Switzerland. Look at this, guys. Man, I mean, like, look at this, right? That's Switzerland, guys. Isn't that amazing? This is Switzerland. I'm gonna show you guys the Netherlands, right? So the Netherlands. So yeah, this is the Netherlands. This is Amsterdam. Amsterdam. A lot of people go to Amsterdam to visit it. But yeah, this is the Netherlands, guys, right? A lot of water, no mountains, flowers, right? We have a lot of roses in the Netherlands. But yeah, I like Switzerland. I like it. When are you coming to Nigeria? Yeah, I don't know. Good question. Swiss is my dream. Nice. Tulpes. Yes. Isn't it roses? They call it tulps. Is that how I call it? Low taxes, but high food prices. Yeah, I know. I went to Switzerland once, and it cost me 8 euros or 7 euros or something for a coffee. All right? For a coffee, guys. Well, to be honest, nowadays it's normal. If you go to Starbucks, you're also paying 10 euros for coffee. But back in the day, in the old times, it wasn't. You see what I mean? Like, but yeah. The question is, how do you translate that? Do you understand Norwegian, Thomas? No, I don't. I don't. Yes, was also surprised. Oh, did I say something in Norwegian? Tonsberg, is that what I said? Or what did I say? Let me know. I don't know. I don't remember. I don't even go out anymore. Yeah, it's the same here, bro. The drinks and everything is getting really expensive, right? So it's tough. It's a tough time to be alive now, right? It's a tough time to be alive. But yeah, it is what it is, guys. My comment was originally in Norwegian. Oh, really? Oh, I see. There's no way. Oh no. Okay. Oh, I see. No, so what? Okay, YouTube actually translated into English for me. I just saw that. That's crazy. It translated it into English. That's crazy. Did you guys know that? You guys can type your own language in the chat, and it actually translated into English. Isn't that crazy? Yeah, I see it. He is from Holland, not Norway or Denmark. That's what this says in in English. That's nice. That's amazing. All right, we're coming close to our entry here, guys. We got almost 100 people watching again. I don't know what to say. I thank you all. I really appreciate it for you to tune in. I really appreciate it, guys. Thank you all for tuning in. I really appreciate it. Yeah, the taxes here is high, man. Also in the Netherlands, if you make then more than 74k a year in your solo proprietorship, you're paying 49% tax over that money, right? Above 74k, which is insane. I think it might go down. Yeah, you might be right. I'm still positive over the bias. Still though, I'm still positive over the bias. But if it goes down, like I said, right? If it goes down, it is what it is. But we can then look for longs later. You know, look at the 4-hour time frame. Yeah, no, I know. But also look at it from this perspective, right? We've been rising right now. You see what I mean? So, like I said, I think you're right. It also has a lot of potential to go lower, right? But if that's the case, then I might, be wrong, and then I can get involved later again. Because for me, is Sonia. So for me, is I'm wrong around 50% of the time, right? But because I'm wrong 50% of the time, and I make an average of 2R return, I'm actually making money. You see? So I'm almost wrong as often as I'm right. You know what I mean? But it's a good thing, because it doesn't really matter. Ehem, I just joined. What do you see on NQ today? Hey, Thomas. I'm looking for longs at the moment. At this current moment, I'm looking for longs back to 2, right? 2 is untraded into, as you can see. All right, so we instantly traded it back. We instantly traded away from 2 o'clock, as you can see. So for me, that's the current target, right? I would like to see them go back to it. Whether or not we're bullish or bearish is a big question, right? I have a couple of ideas here because I'm looking at the VIX. And when I'm looking at the VIX is telling me this might want to go down, right? Looking at how it's moving to the downside, we have relative equal lows. We have a big, massive candle, which is highly inefficient, right? That they might want to trade back into. But it doesn't mean that they want to go down from here. It could also go down from here, right? So for when it comes to the VIX and they want to go down, I would assume the Nasdaq wants to go higher because it's negatively correlated, right? So in that instance, for me, Nasdaq is bullish. But when I'm looking at the structure itself, it could also go further down, right? That's what I'm saying. It could also go further down. But yeah, it's a bit of a mixed situation because we're in the middle, right? If you can see here, we're in the middle right now of the trading range, meaning that it could go higher from here, and it could also break through to go down lower, you see? So we're just making a decision here based on what the VIX is showing me, and based on my experience, based that I know that 6, if 2 is untraded into, they like to go back into it. And we try to break through London Open. As you can see here, we actually gathered some liquidity here. We had an instant move higher. Maybe they want to actually go, and why is it not deleting? Oh, okay. Maybe they actually want to go back to 2, right? And what happens afterwards? I don't know. I wish I knew. We also got NFP coming up later. So I think it's a wise decision to whether or not they give us this position to try and, you know, keep our trades a bit small, still make a good risk to reward on the trades that we take. And then, you know, just call it a day afterwards. I'm not going to trade the NFP, guys. But I hope this might work. Does it help you a bit, Eham? Let me know if this actually helps you for a bit. But that's what I'm looking for right now. What is the weather right now in Morocco, actually? Let me know. I know you're from Morocco. I didn't forget. A friend of mine is in Morocco right now. He's riding horses and stuff. He's actually enjoying his life there. He's, you know, he's in Marrakesh. How long are your streams normally? Well, so it's a bit mixed. Sometimes they're 2 hours, sometimes they're 3 hours, sometimes they're 4 hours. But I've noticed that for me personally, right, 3 hours mark is like the best, right? It's ideal because I lose energy eventually. Like, of course, I'm talking, I'm explaining, and it takes a lot of energy, guys, right? It truly takes a lot of energy, right? To just, you know, speak your mind when you see something and explaining it. It costs some energy. And I've noticed that after the period, like let's say we get into like 9 o'clock-ish, then New York opens up and New York likes to do its own thing, right? So it might be that the bias that I had originally falls away a little bit, right? And because I'm losing energy, I'm also more tempted to take trades that are unnecessary, right? So I think like around the 3 hour mark, let me know in the chat if you guys think that's good. Like around the 3 hour mark-ish would be a good stream on a day-to-day basis, right? And I've noticed that if the setup occurs within those 3 hour mark, you should be able to get some money out of the market for sure, right? Let me know if you guys agree with that or not. Let me know in the chat. We got 105 people watching. I appreciate. I truly, guys, I don't know what to say. I truly appreciate every single one of you. Make sure to smash up the like if you enjoyed the live stream. Let me see. Do you go live in Asia as well? Yeah, so the idea is to actually move to Asia for sure. Yeah, well, I'm not gonna live there, right? But I want to go there for a little while, for a couple of months, you know, just enjoy my life, go live there, feel rich, you know. You're way richer in Asia than you are here in the Netherlands. I can assure you, if you make 10,000 a month, you make a good income here in the Netherlands still, don't get me wrong. But 10,000 a month, yeah, here in the Netherlands gets you a normal apartment. And if you live in Asia, you get a nice villa for half of the price, right? So maybe it's a good idea, you know? Maybe it's a good idea. Yes, it's pretty clear for me. Gotta wait after NFP and New York Open, and then I'll have my entry. Nice. Weather is great where I live, 24 degrees, ideal for the beach. Yeah, that's amazing. That's amazing. Live stream, sorry. Do you go live in Asia as well? Oh, yeah, sure, 100%. Yeah. If I go to Asia, I take a laptop with me or whatever. I buy one, you know, it's not a problem. I buy a laptop, a nice one, get myself a screen, you know, put a little camera, get my nice light, and we just go live again. Of course, no problem. Of course. That's the goal. Like I told you guys before, like I really enjoy live streaming. I did it back in the day, and I would like to continue doing it. You know what I mean? Like keep it going. Make sure it works out. You know, we make a little community together. You guys been asking me about a Discord community. Should I make one? Let me know in the chat. Should I make a Discord community? Because if you guys say, yeah, let's do it, then I might do it. You know, then we have a little community together. We can talk about trades. You know, maybe I can share some of the ideas that I have in the Discord. But yeah, you know, maybe I'll do it. You know, Georgia is 1% tax. Really? Nice. Yeah, you know, the thing is, I know a lot of people move to Dubai and stuff for the tax purposes and everything like it, but there's other ways to pay no tax, right? You can also open an LLC, and if you can register as a company, let's say in the Cayman Islands, and you're allowed to trade as a company for a prop firm, you're also not paying any tax, right? You're paying tax over the money that you then have as income that you send over from your company to you, right? So that's also a way to avoid taxes in this instance. But yeah, I don't really think Dubai is the place for me to be or to live, at least, you know. Yeah, I don't know if I want to, you know, like I feel like I want to live in a place where there's soul, right? Meaning as in, I understand you're in the middle of the desert, everyone's having fun, but I mean as in soul, as in nature, right? I like nature, I like the beach, I like, you know, animals around me and stuff like that. I don't know if the Dubai is the place for me, guys. I don't know if the Dubai is the place for me. You have a Discord group? No, I don't. Careful in Asia, they kidnap Westerners there and hold for ransom. Are you pulling my leg again, bro? Because I know a lot of people that live in Asia. I know a lot of people that live in Asia. But I don't have a Discord group. No, I don't have one, Lewis. I do not have a Discord group. I don't sell anything either. I don't have anything that is for sale at all. I do have a free video for the guys that are interested. I can share it again if you guys want to see it. That's how I look at the market. It's time frame synchronization for the guys that do want to learn something from my idea when it comes to trading, whether it's the good idea or not. Yeah, you can determine that for yourself. I'll share it in the chat right here. If you want to learn something from me, you can watch it. It's only 11 minutes, guys, and you don't have to pay me a single dime. You know, just do your thing. You know, if you get something out of it, I hope so. If you make a couple of $million, make sure to hit me up, right? If it no, I'm joking. But yeah, you can watch it for free. Go, it's all good. Nah, bro, Asia safest in the world. Yeah, my friends always said that in Asia they're like really kind, nice people, right? Really nice, kind people. Here in the Netherlands, people are always like mad and stuff, and yeah. They say they never want to go back. That's what they're saying to me. They're saying they never want to go back. So we can see that we're still closing below 6. We're nowhere near our entry yet, right? We're nowhere near our entry yet. It's not doing anything, to be honest. I hope we're going to get something out of it, but right now it seems like it's just consolidating. Whether it's going to stay like this for another hour would be the question. I hope not, because if that's the case, then yeah, I can't be in the position. But we'll see. We'll see what happens here, guys. I'll stay for sure. I'll stay around till the news drops, and we're going to look at the news together. But like I said before, I won't be trading the news. Whether you can do it is on you, right? But I've noticed that for me, it's a bad habit creation, right? It's not good for me. It indulges gambling. I'm not a gambling addict whatsoever. But whenever the news drops, for some reason, you know, if I'm involved, it's not a good thing. It's not a good thing. It's not a good thing. Give me a second here. Oh, by the way, guys, I want to go and, you know, maybe become a little bit more like active on Instagram to do some giveaways and stuff, prop firms, whatever, whatnot. If you want to be, if you want to know what I'm doing, yeah, just follow me on Instagram. It's Thomas Jacoba. It's the same as my YouTube handle. You can find it. I can send it over to you guys in the chat here. All right, follow me on Instagram. And if I start doing giveaways or I actually start making a community, I'll for sure update you guys there. Maybe I'll do some live content. You know, you guys see what I do in a day in the life of a trader, right? A day in the life of a trader, whatever. I'm not that special, guys. Like I told you before, I'm just a regular guy. I'm just like, I work out, I read books. Yeah, I go out in the weekend sometimes, you know, have some wine with my friends or whatever. I'm not that special. You see what I'm saying, guys? I'm not that special. And yeah, you know, I guess that's just it, you know? I'm your first follower, Coder. I appreciate that, my friend. I appreciate that, my friend. Tommy, do you have a girlfriend? Voltaren, welcome back, my friend. I do not have a girlfriend. No, I do not have a girlfriend. I do not have a girlfriend. I do not have a girlfriend. I really like your realness, bro. I would be in. Yeah, nice, bro. I appreciate that, man. I do truly appreciate that. I'm not, you know what the thing is, what I noticed about this trading influencer space, guys, is everyone tries to exaggerate and tries to make it also beautiful and make it also nice. You see what I mean? Like everyone tries to make it like that life is supposed to be a certain way, right? And the problem for us is that if we're watching it, let's say we're scrolling on our phone and we're looking at people making it in trading, Ferrari, watches, you know, it's not reality, really, truly, it's not reality, right? I'm not saying you can't make it. I say you can do it. But the question is, what you have to ask yourself is like, is that what I want to do with my life, right? is what you really have to ask yourself. Because I've started to notice, I'm like, sure, I want to drive one of those cars, but do I want to live in Miami? No. Do I need 20 watches? No, not really, to be honest, right? What do I truly value in life? It's nature, having a good time, having my friends around me, being able to say to myself, okay, I'm going to go to Paris or whatever, right? If I can do those type of things, I'm a really happy man, right? I'm a really happy man, or a happy kid, I could say. I'm only 23, so I will be happy. Freedom, yes. Do you? Yeah, I don't have a girlfriend, no. I just hopped onto the live. Could you go through your setup again? Yeah, so we're looking for the longs right now. It's not doing anything, but we're looking for the longs. Reason for the longs is pretty simple. We haven't touched 2 o'clock yet. 2 o'clock for me is a major level in the day. It was traded away from instantly and never came back, right? And we also have a gap here, as you can see. So I'm trying to trade back into this gap. We have a lower closure and higher open, so there's a gap here. It's inefficient. Price likes to come back to it, so I like to trade it back into the gap. 6 o'clock opened up. That's the candle we're currently trying to trade. It traded down, touched into London Open, traded up, and it's now forming higher structure basically. So we're trying to trade it back to 6 and then have the continuation and use the 6 o'clock open as a sort of a support level, right? In this instance, that it doesn't want to go and break through it lower. And to back up the idea, we're also looking at the VIX, right? And the VIX is actually the negative correlation for the Nasdaq. In this instance, if the Nasdaq is going up, there's a high chance that the VIX is going down. And if we're looking at it from this perspective, we can see that it's actually looking like it might want to sell lower, right? So this is actually backing up the idea. We also have to, of course, keep in mind that we are pretty low in the range when it comes to the VIX. So whether or not they want to do it from here is the big question. If it doesn't happen from here and they go higher, it could be that we're going to get stopped out on the Nasdaq, right? If they come there. If that's the case, it is what it is. I can also look for a new long setup lower. But that's the overall idea right now for this current setup. And our stop is placed below the current 6-hour low. Because if they break that, I know completely and honestly that I'm wrong, right? Because this means that they're changing the delivery from 6, they're re-breaking the low, and they don't want to go higher, right? So this is the reason for the entry and the stop loss. I hope that makes sense. Let me know in the chat if it makes sense for you guys. But yeah, that's the idea. And what about Spain? You're going to love it, especially when you speak a bit of Spanish. Yes, yeah, well, actually, I started looking for Spanish classes online. Because I've noticed, guys, my first language is not English, right? I've learned English not through school, but through gaming when I was younger, watching a lot of movies and watching a lot of podcasts, right? And I've learned my English and my vocabulary and all the words that I'm using. I've learned it through doing that. I'm like, okay, maybe I'm smart enough, I'm smart enough to maybe learn Spanish as well. If I can learn English, maybe I can learn Spanish. And Spanish is being spoken around the world, right? Everyone knows Spanish is one of the most, if not the most spoken language around the entire planet. So I'm like, okay, why not learn Spanish? It has benefits, right? How do you monitor macroeconomics? So I have a channel that I watch. So you're a Dutch fella. Welcome to the live stream. Hopelijk gaat alles goed. So I have a channel that I watch. And how I keep myself in the loop when it comes to macroeconomics and fundamentals is by watching to the greats, right? I watch and I listen to the great guys that have been in the game way longer than I am, right? And I look at their biases, I understand, okay, what are they doing? And based on that, I make my decisions, right? So there's a couple channels that I watch. One of them is Gary Economics. I do really like him, and he was one of the most profitable traders in the Citibank. So I watch him, and he gives me more of a pessimistic side and view on things. And someone else that I watch as well, that I do think is really good for you guys, if you guys like it, is this guy, is Andre, this guy, right? And he also backs everything up what he's saying, right? I'll share the link with you guys. But this is giving me some understanding of what's going on, right? An understanding of what's going on. And he spoke about gold yesterday. And he said that China was buying a lot of physical gold. And they wanted to remove people from trading gold, which actually backed up the position here, right? Because they wanted to remove people from trading gold, and they wanted to buy a lot of physical gold. And out of nowhere, it goes higher. That's interesting, right? But that's the guy that I also watch. It looks like trade might actually run without us here, guys. I hope not. We'll see what happens here. Whether or not they're still going to turn around and make equal highs. If they take it out, it is what it is. then we just have to wait and see whether or not we're gonna get a position here today. We'll see. Instead of that, I removed my good take profit, and now that's tough, Jason. That's really tough, my friend. Well, might be quite hard for you. You want to keep pulling my leg, my bro. You want to keep pulling my leg. Spain is amazing. I live between Morocco and Spain, and I just love it. Yeah, I believe that. I believe that. The weather is really nice in Spain. A lot of us Dutch folks, when we go on vacation, we go to Spain, right? And yeah, they enjoy it. They enjoy it. They enjoy it a lot. Not even Dutch, just traveled with a lot of Dutch folks. People in Asia, great people. Thank you. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. But it's good to hear that you went to Asia, bro. Let me know, what was your experience traveling to Asia? Because I've been considering a lot to move to or to live in Asia for a little bit. You know, feel rich when I live in Asia. Feel rich. I've got a home in Spain and I love it. Ooh, nice. That's really nice, bro. That's really nice. My dad also has a home in Spain. I've never been there before, but he has one. Check your phone. Let me check my phone. Jason sent me a message, guys. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna look at my phone. I have my phone notifications off, so that's why I don't notice it. So you're in this trade, or you got stopped out, or what? Break even, or what? So you guys, Jason is also trading. You can see this, right? Jason is also trading. He's making some good bankroll right here. Some good bankroll, as you can see. If you guys can see it. Yeah, look at that. And he's also trading the hourlies, the opens, and he also has a really good understanding of the structure of the market. He's losing, so what he's using is like using the C3, C1, C2, and all that type of stuff. And the basically means is that you're building down the candle, right? In segments, in fragments, right? So you would be trading the third hour or the second hour of 6, for example, right? Instead of the first one, to confirm where it wants to go. So in this instance, you would try to get involved here in the bottom wick, like we also tried to do. And they didn't give us our entry, right? Which is pretty upsetting, if you ask me. All right, so they came back to 2 o'clock, I think. Directionally speaking, we were right. They just didn't give us the entry. Whether or not I wanted to, yeah, we could have potentially entered from the fair value gap. But yeah, the problem is here, guys, I'm going to explain why, is it reduces my risk to reward ratio by a lot, right? If I enter from here and I enter from here, I just can't do it, because this means I have to be right more often than I can be wrong. You see what does that make sense in the chat? Let me know if it makes sense what I'm just saying to you, because it's really important that when you enter a position, you get the right return on your investment, right? If you're getting nothing in return, you're having a problem, right? But we'll see. Sadly, it didn't came us to take us in at 6, but it went all the way to 2 o'clock highs. Almost. It didn't tap it yet. Who knows? It might not tap it, come back down and give us an entry. But I don't think so. And when it comes to the VIX, yeah, the VIX is selling off. We still have those equal highs here, though, which I find really interesting. They didn't take those highs. Yeah, we just took 2 o'clock. All right. Yeah, it is what it is, guys. The bias was correct. Did any one of you guys get involved in this trade? Did any of you guys get involved in the longs here? If you guys did, congratulations. Well played to you. I hope you made some money here. We sadly didn't. So it is what it is. I'm going to remove the buy limit. And we're going to wait for a little bit. And potentially get something. But yeah, the question is, how do we get involved now, right? That's the big question. Let's have a look here, though. Because if we're looking at the VIX, if the VIX really starts sinking lower, this could just be the level that we wanted to get into, and it's just gonna fly all the way up. I was longing, well played. I was traveling in Thailand for 3 months, met a couple of traders out there living off 150k funded capital. They're living lavishly. You can easily live comfortably about 40 to 45 pounds a day. That's amazing. Would you chase it down? You mean, would I chase the trade? It depends. I wouldn't chase it in the sense that I need to get involved now. But let's say this hourly closes, right? And they come back into here, right here, and they give me some form of confirmation on the lower time frame, I might get involved, but it also depends on how they close it. You see what I mean? So it's not that I'm like actually chasing, because I will do the same stuff what I did here, right? But I will just do it higher if I get a potential entry. But it's not that I would enter now here at the top. I wouldn't do that. There's no way. Because I want to enter when the market. Okay, this is something I'm gonna explain to you guys. Maybe I can. Maybe I don't know how I can do this. Maybe I can do this, right? Give me a second. I'm gonna try something here. Give me a second. Give me a second. I'm gonna try something here. Hopefully this works. Let's see. Oh, I'm breaking the whole room down while I'm trying to explain something. All right, let's see. Let me see. Do I have a marker? I do actually. All right, let's see if I can. Can you guys see the whiteboard? Let me know. Let me know in the chat if you can see the whiteboard. All right, so let's see. Let's see if I can explain this. Right. So when we're looking at the charts, right? Let's say this is the daily open right here. All right, this is the daily open. Comfortably speaking, when I'm looking for longs, I want to look for longs when we're below the daily open. The reason why is because the risk to reward ratio, in a sense that how far can we go, sensibly speaking, is higher. If I'm trading above the daily open, this means I'm seeking higher in the current high of the day. Whenever we're trading above it, we're trading in premium for the daily opening. You see what I'm saying? Does that make sense? Let me know in the chat if it works. Do you guys see it or not? If you're trading above the open of the day, for its opening price itself, you're trading in premium. You're trading in higher prices, meaning that in that instance, you're buying higher to go higher, right? Instead of buying it in premium or in discount, you're paying lower prices than its original open, which is better. You see what I'm saying? You need to buy in discount. But let's say we are opening a new hourly candle, right? So if we're opening a new hourly candle, how can I do this? Like this. All right, let's say we're opening a new hourly candle. Let's say we had a bullish closure, right? Right here, bullish closure. And we're opening a new hourly candle right here, right? We're opening a new hourly candle right here. If I'm trading below it, the same logic applies, right? For the hour itself, you're actually trading in discount. You see what I'm saying, guys? So within the hour itself, you're trading in discount. And you can get involved following the structure when it goes bullish again, knowing that the previous hour actually closed bullish, right? So it's a bullish closure, which is favorable for longs. If you're also still trading below the daily open, it's a double-sided story here, right? So now we need to look at, okay, what's going to happen here on the Nasdaq? You see, because right now we're coming close to the daily open. This is a perfect example. This is exactly what I just drew out for you guys. You see that? So you close the hourly bullish. You see that? Hour came down, as you can see here, right? It came down. Look at the chart. It gave us the bottom wick. It sadly did not take us in, but then it moved higher. You're still below the daily open. So for the day itself, you're in discount. For the hour itself, you're in discount. And now, if I would like to enter now, I'm trading above and I'm coming close to the daily open. So the succession rate is going to be lower. Does this make any sense? Let me know in the chat. And this is just talking about action market theory, right? You're talking about, okay, where did price open? And we're talking about supply and demand and the price value of the asset that you're trading, right? We're trading the Nasdaq. So based on where did price open, are we actually buying cheap or selling or buying expensive, right? And this is the same scenario here, but you're just using the open theory from every candle to determine whether or not you're buying something that is, logically speaking, cheaper in that instance, right? Let me know if that made any sense in the chat, guys. We got 99 people watching or 100 people watching. Let me know in the chat if that made any sense at all. I hope it did, but that's basically what I do, right? And then you have also time frame synchronization, meaning you look at multiple time frames in the chart and yeah, you use that basically to determine whether or not you're entering on a, technically speaking, good entry. No, but let me know if it actually makes sense, right? Let me know in the chat if this actually made any sense. If not, I don't mind going over it again. But yeah, that's the, I have a whiteboard now. You know, I can use it sometimes. Let's see. Oh, guys, by the way, look at what I got. It's a really heavy thing, but look at what I got. Look at this. It's Alexander the Great. You guys see that? It's Alexander the Great. I have a statue of Alexander the Great's head. Look at that. I read a lot of books about him. Isn't that amazing? I read a lot of books about him. I think it's amazing, you know. Where did you get this? I got it from my dad. My dad gave it to me. That's pretty cool, right? It's a nice thing. My dad knew that I really I like those books and stuff, and understanding on how he conquered all the nations, right? And yeah, he was Macedonian, right? Yes, he was Macedonian. Yeah, he was Macedonian. Yes, his father was Philip. Nice gift. Yes. Thomas the Great. Yeah, I appreciate that. I can't make that comparison though. Guys, look at this, right? So the actual target that we had in mind, look at how they're respecting the 50%, the equilibrium of that level. You see that? Does everyone see it in the chat? This is the 50% marking of the 12-hour gap that we actually marked out here on the chart. That's nice, right? That's nice. Can I join now? Join in what instance? Hey, Jamie, no problem. I really appreciate it that you let me know that you understood what I meant here. I really appreciate that a lot. No, he was Greek. The area where he was from was Greek before it became Macedonia. Yeah, okay, but yeah, but bro, the Netherlands was not always the Netherlands, right? It turned into the Netherlands, right? If people were from Prussia, or if Prussia was first and then it turned into Russia, are people still Prussian instead of Russian? Right? He was born as a Macedonian, right? Or am I saying something wrong here? I'm just asking you, but I think the country or the land itself was the Macedonian king Philip, and he then got a son, Alexander the Great. It was Japanese, I think. All right, yeah, sure. All right. You're right. All right, let's have a look here. We still got 93 people watching. Hey, make sure to smash up the like if you enjoy it. Yeah, no. I just finished the book. I finished another book about Alexander the Great. And yeah, it's spoken about him being Macedonian, right? I'm surprised you do trade like me. This guy knows what he's talking about. Hey, I like that. Seems like we trade the same way. I appreciate that. That's nice. It's good. Maybe we can, we figure something out with everyone together. We get our own little, way of looking at the markets. I've been considering making like a PDF format or something for you guys to give you guys a little bit of like an in-depth explanation. I'm not going to talk about the entire market, guys, right? I'm just going to talk about how I think it works. And maybe you can get something valuable out of it, maybe. He was not of the same genetic makeup as modern day Macedonians. Yeah, sure. Yeah. No, I understand. I understand what you mean. Nice gift. Yeah, thank you. Didn't you take that long on this? No, I did not get tagged in, bro. They did not tag me in, sadly. All right, so the reason why is because I didn't enter of this FEG here, right? I wanted to enter around 6 open, and they never gave me the entry, so I did not get tagged in. A PDF would be great, yes. So I'll work it out, guys, in the future. Okay, I promise. I'll work on it. I'll work something out for you guys, and then you get hopefully you get some value out of it, That would be nice. A market order would be better. Yeah, but the thing is, I didn't want to enter here, bro. Is the PDF what you actually say in the free video you shared? Did I say anything about a PDF in that video? No, the PDF would be more in depth though. Like I would really go a little bit more in depth for the different models that I have for every single day, right? Or any single time of the day. Because when I trade, let's say I trade 2 o'clock, because I do trade 2 o'clock sometimes. I trade the 2 o'clock model, right? That's how it's really simple. When I trade 6, I trade the 6 o'clock model, right? 2 o'clock, for example, so first, let's say we have 6. 6 for me is a reversal continuation play, right? Or it's a complete reversal and then continue. So in this instance, it's a reversal to continuation play, right? Meaning that it's reversing to potentially continue, right? Or it's a continue play. Whoa. Using a lot of words, but so and 2 o'clock is just a liquidity for me, a liquidity seeker, the liquidity model, you could say. When 2 o'clock opens, I'm looking for the nearest liquidity point in the market, which is sensible to get to. So in this instance, it would have been this low, right? And you would look for a short at 2 o'clock to go down. Whether or not you could have taken this trade is the big question, because it didn't really trade around it. But yeah, I look at it that way, guys, right? I look at the models. I look at models, and I have reasons for it. You keep eating since you started the live stream, bro. Yeah, I'm sorry, bro. I'm sorry. I haven't finished the bowl yet. You see that? Like, I haven't finished it yet. I'm yeah. Yeah. I haven't finished it yet. I'm sorry. My apologies. I hope you don't mind. I do. It's nice fruit, though. It's nice fruits. Sorry. In Spain, he's known and is referred to as Alejandro Magno. Ah. I see. Take the vitamins and stay hydrated. You're right. I am gonna get some water now, instantly. I know, out of a plastic bottle. I know. Shameful, but I'm still doing it. Alright, let's see. But yeah, so the reason I didn't execute a market order is purely based on the fact that the risk to reward ratio would heavily decrease, right? If I wanted to enter from this fair value gap, I would have only gained 1.3R return, right? Why are you wearing shoes inside? I'm not wearing shoes, bro. I'm not wearing shoes. I'm not going to show my feet if that's what you're asking. I'm not going to prove it to you, but I'm not wearing shoes, okay? I'm not wearing shoes. All right, let's have a look, though. Let's see what's going to happen here. We got a new hourly opening up in 2 minutes from now. We're going to see what happens, right? Potentially, we can still see a potential trade coming in here. But the target is already hit. So we have to be really careful here. We have to be really careful here and see what happens. If we're looking at the VIX as well, we just are, we're rating the 3 highs. You see that, guys? So that the equal highs are being rated right now. And what is happening? The Nasdaq is selling off, right? So how convenient, right? It's definitely correlated at the moment. So that's good. Let's say if they take this out and they come back to the daily open, we get some form of rejection. Maybe I'm still willing to get involved again, right? Again on the Nasdaq for the longs back towards, for example, the daily open, which could also be a target, right? And we would go and try to get involved long again. Let's say it actually starts breaking higher here, like truly break higher on the VIX. We might look for shorts, right? We might look for shorts. Like it could just still be, like I mentioned before, when we're looking at the VIX, I'm anticipating the VIX to potentially go down, right? Because there's relative equal lows and everything like that. But yeah, it could also still do something like this, guys, right? It could still do something like this. Go back up and then give another creation and then go to the downside, right? Meaning that for the short term being, the Nasdaq actually wants to go lower, right? And then we just have to try and get involved on shorts here. Our actual target that we were aiming for the long, for the current duration is already been hit now. So yeah, let's have a look. Also, if we look on it from a 3-hour perspective, this level here, it looks really good for a short. It looks really good for a short. If you look at it from a 3-hour perspective, you guys see that? Let me know in the chat. It looks really good for a short, right? It looks really good. We're going to see what happens though. Whether or not they want to break out on the VIX is the big question. Whether or not they want to go down is also the big question, right? And if we are then looking at 6 would then be the reversal to continuation model, right? So if you're looking at it, I just need to put this one back. Yeah, like that. So if you look at it on the 6 o'clock model, what I was talking about before, you have 6 coming down, reversing against the current trend, which is down, reversing it down again, and then go lower, right? Meaning that it could also be a short here, right? It could also be a short here. We just step back into 2 o'clock. 2 o'clock is also an 8 o'clock candle, meaning that if they don't stay above it, they can't break it, right? The delivery is not being changed. So potentially, they actually want to continue down, right? Potentially. So we'll have to see what happens here. Magno as magnificent. Yeah, I already felt that was the wording for it. But let's have a look here, guys. So we just opened a new 2 o'clock candle as well. We just opened a new hour. As you can see, we have half an hour left before the news comes out, which you have to keep that in mind, of course. We have to keep that in mind. So this trade is no longer valid. It's taken. It's not giving us the entry that we were looking for. And right now, I don't see any way to enter here. There's no real structure in here, right? As you can see, we have one low. That's this one right here. But that's not magnificent enough for me to determine anything. So what I would like to see, potentially coming back higher again, then a break lower, and then something around here could be the short if they want to go lower. Whether or not this is going to happen before or after news is the big question. We're going to stay around for a little bit longer and see what happens. If the structure stays good after the NFP, who knows, we might look for a setup. But knowing the NFP, it might also just chop around a lot. Go up, go down, go left, go right. And I won't be trading that if that's the case, right? Let me know who's still watching in the chat. Smash up the likes. Hit the notification bell if you enjoy the live streams. I really do appreciate it. You guys are legends that you're still tuned in. And for the guys that just tuned in, by the way, where are you from? Let me know in the chat. Where are you guys from? I would like to know. Where are you guys from? I would like to know. I really do. I really do like to know. I'm from the Netherlands. I live close to Amsterdam. I'm 23 years old. I've been trading for around 6 years now. For the guys that don't know me, and I used to live stream a lot back in the day. I actually quit live streaming because I used to live stream with someone else. I was a partial owner, you could say, or I was working with other people in a company. I left the company, and I decided to just focus on me for a little bit. And now we're back on the live streams, trading, you know, having fun. Will you trade New York also? No, but potentially I won't. But the thing is with New York, I've noticed, like I mentioned before, right now we're around 2 hours now. When we get into that 3-hour mark from live streaming, I notice my energy drains me out a bit. You know, I'm way more reluctant when I'm entering trades, and that's not a good thing. I don't want my trading performance to suffer over the fact that I'm live streaming. So I do also need to make a decision based on that, of course, right? So, yeah. Hey Thomas, are you a full-time trader? Yes. But yeah, well, I trade full-time, yeah. I trade full-time. But if I could work a job that would work with my hours for trading, I wouldn't even mind doing so. But it would have to be something that I learned something from, right? So yes, I'm full-time trading. Would I mind working a job? Not at all. I don't think it's a bad thing to work a job, but right, I'm trading in the middle of the day, right? So right now I just can't, there's no job that I can work for. So yeah, I'm full-time trading. I'm originally from Romania, Transylvania, my apologies, based in Amsterdam for about 16 years. Nice. What do you think about Amsterdam, bro? What do you think about Amsterdam? But yeah, I am trading full-time. I've worked a job, of course. But sometimes I question, right? Like I noticed that a lot of people, they want to trade because they don't want to work, right? But I've noticed that when I make a side hustle, I also do boxing PTs one-on-ones, right? I've been boxing since I was 14. So that also gives me some money that comes in. It's not a lot, but it's some money. I've noticed that if there's always money coming in, trading is way easier, guys, right? Trading is way easier. If you don't have any money coming in and you're only relying on trading, like truly only relying on trading, it could definitely be, especially if you have a lot of bills, right? It could definitely be something that could, you know, mess with your head a little bit. So make the right decisions, guys. If you want to go and become a full-time trader, which I understand why, make sure you do make the right decisions, though. All right, we see that price is insanely pushing through the sky right now. Insanely pushing to the sky. I'm losing my words here. It's just pushing through the sky. Let's see what the VIX is doing. Oh, look at this, guys. You see this? Geez, so right, we didn't even take those equal highs. The VIX is just ramping it down, and the Nasdaq is moving higher insanely hard. Sup, Thomas? Cool to see you branched out. Sup, Sonar. I appreciate it, my friend. I appreciate you. Thank you for tuning in, my friend. We're back at it again. I'm a boxer too. Still got out my teeth. Yeah. No, but I was fighting since I was 14 years old, guys, right? So I've been fighting since I was 14 years old. And some people ask me, you know, personal box training, stuff like that. I was like, yeah, sure. Why not, you know? Good job at explaining the market. It's very helpful. Thank you, my friend. From the USA. Michigan. Nice. I like that. I like that. All right, let's have a look here. But you guys can see what happened here, right? So the VIX actually started selling off. So potentially it is going to go for this relative equal lows here. Seek some liquidity below it. How do we get involved now is the big question, right? How do we get involved now is the big question. I see some potential of getting involved around this level here. It is a 1 minute time frame structure, so you have to keep that in mind. So make sure that if they do give us an entry here, that we oh, let's see, we have some more data coming out. We have 24 minutes still, but this market is moving drastically higher. Yeah, it is what it is. We did not get involved here. This is an this is an insane move to the downside, guys, for the VIX, and this potentially could be a big move for the Nasdaq to the upside. A big move. Where's your hometown in Holland? I grew up in Rotterdam, and I moved to Eindhoven when I was 3 years old. And now I live in the northern side. I live in the countryside of the Netherlands. It's really quiet here. I'm gonna show you guys. Let me show you guys a picture of where I live. Give me 1 sec. You guys will love it. Oh. All right. Let's see. Let me see. So where I currently live now is I live right here. You see that? This is my backyard. You guys see that? So I have hundreds of meters of view into the countryside. That's where I currently live. Hundreds of meters of view. It's nice, though. It's really nice. It's peaceful. It's different than the city, that's for sure. Let's see. How are you doing, Sonar, by the way? You doing good? Let me know how your life has been, bro. All right, let's see what's going to happen here, guys. Are we coming back down or not? Let's see. Yeah, we also see that the 8 hour is flipping bullish now. Yeah, no, you're right. So what they are discussing for the guys here in the chat. So we have a new ruling coming in. That means that if you have, if you are just a regular worker and you invest into assets, right? You will have a unrealized gains tax over the money that you made. Meaning that, let's say you invest now, right, in 2026, and the rule goes in 2028, 2027 or something like that. The rule goes in, you might have to pay 37% tax over unrealized gains that you made in the market. Meaning you have to sell your assets to pay the taxes. And yeah, it's just insane. It doesn't make any sense, right? It doesn't make any sense. But they're doing this they say to tax the wealthy people, right? To tax the rich. That's what they're saying, right? That's their whole ideology around it. But it doesn't make any sense, right? It doesn't make any sense. Because if you're a rich person, you're investing from your company. You're not investing as you, as the person, right? You're investing through a company. So it's different. It's different rules. It's a different tax bracket. But for every regular day people, they're going to be taxed over everything they make within the stock market or the crypto assets. And it's going to be 37% over unrealized gains, right? Which is insane, which doesn't make any sense at all, right? Because let's say you don't pull it out. Let's say you don't pull the money out of the market and you pay off the taxes, right? And the market then follows the drop down. You just pay taxes over money that you didn't make. Isn't that crazy, guys? Isn't that crazy? It's a way to screw over everyone who's working their jobs hard. Inequality is rising, right? And they need to get money somewhere. So they're gonna take it from the people that are sadly unaware of what's happening, right? Sadly, that's just it's a tough reality on how it works. Do the royals pay taxes? I don't know. I don't know, my friend. I don't know. Don't ask me questions on where I don't want to give the answer to, right? Whether or not they do it, I don't know. So as a trader, you would be avoiding these rules. Well, as a trader right now in the Netherlands, it's pretty beneficial to live here if you're trading a personal account, right? If you're trading a prop firm account, you're just working as a solo proprietor. So you're just a solo contractor, basically, right? So whenever I get paid out by a company, it's being determined as income, right? As that I'm working for them. So that works a bit differently. But when you trade your own personal funds, it's only being taxed around 7%. Which is way less, right? Way less. That's actually beneficial to live here. Money is created out of nowhere and for any reason is destroyed all the same. It's all for Gaza. Yes, that's the banking system, my guys. That is, the banking system. It's for the guys that don't know what he's talking about, it's fractionalized reserve banking. This means that how they create money out of thin air is by working in debt, right? I've studied this all, by the way. If you find this interesting, if you want to know more about the banking system, you have a couple of books you can read. So one of them is The Economic Hitman by John Perkson. It's a good book. But it's just how it works, right? Well, capital gains is only 7%. Yeah. For now. Yo, all good. Your 1369 video changed everything. I made changes and additional, and I haven't looked back for years. Oh, really? That's amazing, man. The 369 video. Which one was it again? I don't think I have it anymore. That's bad, though. I'm glad it helped you, though. Do you still have it? Potentially? I don't know if you still have it. Okay. Yeah, price is just moving away, guys. Sadly. We're going to wait to see what the news does. But yeah, the actual trade that we were looking for, biasly speaking, we were definitely correct. That's for sure, right? We were definitely correct. I have saved it. Oh, maybe send it over to me if you can on Discord or... and maybe I can share it with some of the guys here. All right, so let's see what happens here. We have to see what's going to happen here, guys. Because if we're looking here on the Nasdaq is just rising, right? The trade idea was completely correct. I just didn't enter off the fair value gap. Of course, it's easy to say now, like, okay, if we entered now, we would have been at 2.5 hour profit. But rationally speaking, for the target that we had in mind, it wasn't favorable for us to actually get involved into the trade. I wasn't expecting this type of move to happen, but it's happening. When we're looking at the VIX, we can clearly see how the VIX is selling off drastically, right? So right now, anyone trying to short this, be really careful. I wouldn't advise you to short this at all. We are tapping into this 3-hour POI. But yeah, I'm looking at the VIX, guys. I'm saying that this one might not do anything at all, so I'm deleting it for now. And you can see the low resistance liquidity right here, right? So I'm pretty sure this is going to be taken out. And I feel like the move went without us. Biasly speaking, we were correct. So that's a W for us, guys. That's a W for us. But sadly, they did not give us the entry. It's just how it is. Maybe I could have entered. But I just can't risk the risk to reward ratio on that. When we're looking on this on the VIX, it's gonna be interesting now, right? Let's say the VIX actually manages to close above the monthly open. it might go back up, right? It might go back up, and this means that the Nasdaq might go down. But for now, like I said, guys, I'm gonna keep referring back to it, that I don't know what the market is gonna do, because if I say I know, you guys are gonna laugh at me when I'm losing, and I'm just telling you straight up that even when I win, I can't predict the market, right? I can't predict it. I have no idea what it's actually doing. If it works, right? But in this instance, if the VIX actually keeps going down like this, yeah, I feel like the Nasdaq might go all the way back up again, right? Looking at it from this perspective. If we're looking at the ES is also rising. Maybe if we get an SMT, it changes a lot. But right now, it's just rising. No indicators, no price action, only time action. Nice. Thank you, Sonar. I appreciate that, my friend. I appreciate it a lot. No indicators, no price action, only time action. I like that one a lot. That's actually funny that you say that. I actually like that a lot. That's actually funny. All right, let's see though. Let's see what's going to happen here. We got 120 people watching. Hope you guys are doing all right. If you enjoyed the live stream, I would highly appreciate a like. I would highly appreciate it. For the guys that are in this trade, congratulations. For the guys that just joined in, we were looking for this long, and they sadly did not give it to us, right? Of the tap of 6 o'clock. We did have a tap on London, and we did not get involved here. We tried to get involved at 6. It didn't happen, right? As you can see, price actually respected this 5-minute fair value gap and went from here. I really expected it to go and give us an entry at 6, and that's why I didn't enter here. And it's rising. It's rising really hard towards these highs, it seems like, to the engineered liquidity, you could say. From now to 3150 is a 2.3R ratio, and it seems like a next liquidity zone. Would that be a potential next target? 150? You just hit that already. You already hit 150. I think personally it's gonna run the highs, bro. Personally, right? If the VIX keeps selling lower, right? We already hit 150, but if the VIX keeps selling lower and lower and lower and lower, there's a big chance this is just gonna keep rising, right? So if you look at the VIX actually is selling off really, really hard right now, right? So I wouldn't sell into this, guys, at all, right? I wouldn't sell into this. If you do, make sure you're keeping your risk tight. And when we're looking at the DXY here, the DXY is rising, which is interesting. The DXY is rising here. If this also starts selling off, that's gonna be a massacre. Like everyone who's shorting is gonna be gone. That's for real. But for now, yeah, everyone who's in the longs, enjoy the profits. Market maker buy model confirmed. SMT Wednesday, Thursday, 9:30 looking for longs. A lot of low resistance liquidity on the highs. Yeah, I don't know if it's gonna stay there before 9:30 though. I think this might already be taken before 9:30. Come, what does your crystal ball tell you? Yeah, it looks like it wants to take the highs, right? It looks like it. It looks like it. Sadly, we didn't get involved. This is also the tough part about trading, guys, right? Like you have to read everything is correctly. You're entering at you're trying to enter at the right time, but sadly, price moves away without you. What do you do now is the question you ask yourself. Because I was looking for a potential re-entry here, right? As you guys can see, I was looking for the re-entry from the breaker, basically. Why do I trade breaker blocks? For the guys that don't know what a breaker is, it's simply a support level, right? Breaking through it, coming back, and becoming a support level, right? So resistance turning into support. It's that simple. That's just what a breaker block actually is, right? And I tried to get involved here, but they never came back. All right, and now we're trading above the open of the day. And what did I just explain to you guys on the whiteboard when I was drawing it out for you, right? Right now, in comparison to where we opened, we're in expensive prices, right? So any trade we now take in relationship to the day is in premium, right? Is that a smart idea to go long from? Not really, right? Not really. So we have to, wait. Re-enter, yeah, but where though, right? That's the question. How do you get involved again in the market? Because here, if we got involved here lower, it was more ideal. If we get involved around here again, This might potentially be something, right? But the news is coming in 10 minutes from now. And I'm not going to try and predict the news, right? There's no way I'm not going to do that. There's no point in doing that. Oh, no, Wednesday high. I see what you're saying. Okay, I see what you're saying. Yeah, I see. So you're looking for this high, basically. And the high's here. Okay, I see. Yeah, makes sense. Makes a lot of sense, my friend. So what we're going to do, guys, I'm going to stay on for the news. We're going to look at the news. We're going to see, okay, what is happening? Is there any potential setup that's forming? If not, I'm going to call it a day. And we're just going to accept that the read was right, especially, you know, for our position, it was right. And we didn't get a trade. And it just is what it is. And tomorrow, it's the 4th of July, I think. Or is that not tomorrow? No, tomorrow is the 3rd of July. Oh, no. So, yeah, 4th of July is on Saturday. So we could actually stream tomorrow. We're going to see if the market is favorable on Friday. If so, we will be live. So let's look at this. Let's look at the VIX now and see what the VIX is going to do here. You can see that the VIX traded above 6, couldn't stay above it, then actually completely sunk below it, as you can see. Yeah, the selling pressure is there for sure. We might come back for these lows. If that's the case, then the Nasdaq is going to keep rising. What could happen during the news? Price rebalances up, measures about a bit, and then continues to sell lower. If that's the case, we might be able to get involved on the Nasdaq, right? Because if the VIX goes up, the Nasdaq comes down. I use a couple of EMAs. That's my strat, not yours. Hey, bro, actually, to be honest, I think EMAs could definitely be beneficial, man. Like, I have EMAs here. You see that? I think they can definitely be beneficial. To confirm whether or not something is an actual break, why not use EMAs, right? Why not use EMAs? You do need to have some patience, right? But I do have some EMAs that I have. But I don't use them often, right? But when I use them mostly for the higher time frame, right? Mostly for the higher time frame. I still didn't finish my fruit bowl. So we got a lot of new people joined in. We got 120 people watching. Where are you guys from? Let me know in the chat. If you haven't done it already, please smash up the like and hit the notification bell so you can be here next time when I do my analysis on the chart and potentially, you know, get yourself something valuable out of it. Whether it's a trade or not, I don't know. But yeah. Let's have a look here. Win Reed, thank you, Cam Jam, thank you, my friend. Hi, I'm from Cambodia. Nice, welcome. How are you doing? Fiat currency is a debt instrument. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Fiat currency indeed is a debt instrument. Yes, it's been created this way the moment they introduced back the central bank. Normally, back in the day, it had to a degree some value, right? To a degree, it had some value. But people that were lending out gold soon realized that if they just give away the piece of paper, that they could generate money out of thin air. They could say that, okay, I understand that this guy lent me 10 pieces of gold, but he's most likely not coming back for his 10 pieces of gold instantly. So what I can do is I can lend the gold out and get an interest rate on it, and I make money. I make money because they have to pay me, and I'm making more money because I'm lending out money which I do not really have, right? And that's how it works, right? That's how the system actually came into fruition. The whole system, the whole economy, everything that we own and everything that we have is built on debt, guys, right? So it is, to a degree, it's a good thing, right? It's a good thing. But to another degree, it's also a bad thing. You know, it's 50-50, it's mixed. Because if we never introduce debt, or we never introduce the way of lending and the way of creating credit out of thin air, the economy wouldn't be where it is today. Like, we wouldn't have the money, right, to make what we made in life, you know? Because what would people work for is the question, right? I know there's a lot of people that do not like capitalism and stuff, and some people enjoy socialism. They think that it should be, you know, a natural way of doing things and stuff, and you do something for someone else and they do it back for you and whatever not. But would that truly work is the question, right? So don't hate the system, just play by its rules and make sure you win in it, you know? I guess is my point of view personally. Because yeah, what would we achieve if there's no capitalism is the question, right? All right, we got 6 more minutes until the news drops. Let's have a look at what's gonna happen here. Give me 1 second, guys. I'm typing something. What broker are you using on your personal? I'm using Do Technologies. It's a e-book broker, by the way. That's also something to be aware of. It's an e-book broker. It's not a B-book broker. They do not give me any capital to trade with. And I also manage an account for someone else, and that's also on Do Technologies as well. But that's in forex, by the way. That's a forex broker, right? So I trade forex mainly because the cost is way lower if you trade forex, right? You have a higher leverage. You don't have to risk a lot of money to make money. And when you're trading futures with your own personal funds, let's say you just enter 1 micro, for example, you're already risking a minimum most of the times of 100 plus bucks, right? And if you trade a small account, let's say you trade $5,000 or whatever, if you always have to risk 100 plus more bucks, it's not good, right? Because you're always risking 2%. So when I trade my own personal or trade personal accounts, I trade it on forex. It's cheaper and it's easier to make money without risking a lot of money. All right, let's see what's gonna happen here, guys. We're taking out these highs like anticipated, right? I don't see any way for us to get involved here, though. So that's just what it is. It's sadly part of the game. We did not get another entry here, so we missed out on this one by a couple of ticks. How much is that? It's like 3 points or something. No, 9 points. So we missed out by 9 points on the entry. That's kind of sad. It is what it is. And then we tried to get involved here, which never occurred. So yeah, we just have to watch. We have to watch and see it drain away our potential that we didn't get. Yeah, and I'm really glad that we did not get involved on gold. Like I said in the beginning of the day, gold is looking like a massacre right now. I don't think it's doing anything. It's looking real tough. So gold, we haven't traded gold. So it is what it is, I guess. We're just gonna wait for the news, see what the news does. But yeah, sometimes it is like that, you know. You have to write read on the market, but it sadly doesn't give it to you. Sadly, it is what it is, though. News in 4 minutes. Yes, you're completely right, my friend. Thank you for keeping me in the loop. I appreciate that a lot. Thank you for keeping me in the loop. Let's see, though. So we have the average hourly earnings coming out, and we have the non-farm employment change coming out. Let's see whether or not it's going to be bearish or bullish for the dollar, and what impact it has on the VIX is the big question. You take a trade at 8 a.m.? No, for sure not, no. No, we were looking for a trade around 6, right? So, yeah. No, but right now I'm just waiting. I'm not going to trade the New York. I'm not going to trade the news open. Been ranging for hours. Yeah, gold. Yeah, it's not doing anything, bro. It might whipsaw both ends, right, during the news. But I think the reason why it's not doing anything is because the target originally has already been met. For me, that was the inefficient price action. That's why yesterday we took a long on gold, guys. For the guys that don't know, I took a long on gold. I took it from down here, and I longed it all the way to around here somewhere, and then I got taken out in profit. And I made a 1 to 10 return on my investment, right? Which is insane. Normally it doesn't happen like that. But the original target was all the way up here, right? So if you're interested in why I took that trade, you can look back in the session from yesterday. But I took a long trade on gold. And now, yeah, I'm just going to wait and see what happens. So early. Sorry for my English. I'm from Argentina. No problem, bro. No problem. Don't worry about it. If something is unclear, let me know, and I hope to help you out. I can explain it maybe in a different way. I can see a big drop coming from here. Yeah, it could potentially happen, bro. We'll see what happens. The news is coming out in a couple of seconds here, in 50 seconds. It could also whipsaw everyone out on the top side. And if we're looking at the VIX is definitely selling off here. You see that, guys? The VIX is definitely selling off at the moment. We'll see what happens here. We'll see what happens here. If they come down and they create some actual structure here, we might be in a position to get involved. We'll see. If not, I'm just gonna call it for what it is, personally. Nobody speaks Argentina here. There's no problem. There's no problem. We speak English. Everyone, you know, chilling. Everyone's welcome. You know what I'm saying? Everyone's welcome. All right, let's see. Are you looking for a buy? Really? Yes, I'm looking for a buy, but I'm not involved. I was looking for a buy down here. All right, yeah, look at the VIX, guys. You see this move? Jeez, guys, look at this. All right, the VIX is selling off drastically here. Gold just whipsawed everyone out to the upside. But yeah, look at the VIX. Precisely as we anticipated here. It might actually start seeking out some of these levels to the downside. The Nasdaq is breaking out higher. Insane move higher on the Nasdaq. Man, what a market, guys. Isn't this beautiful? Isn't this beautiful? So let's say you took the trade. That would have been a big trade. That would have been a big trade. That would have been a big trade. Yeah. Okay then. Yeah, okay. Look at the selling off from the VIX. It just took those equal lows. Selling off drastically. Also, when you look at the 6 hour on the VIX, it's selling off massively to the downside right now. Might potentially, like we discussed before on the live stream, is gonna go fill in this fair value, the inefficient candle to the downside. What a market, guys! What a market! What a market! All right, let's see. So yeah, let's see what happens now. Let's say they come back down, and they give us some form of structure again. I might get involved, but if it doesn't happen within now in a couple of minutes, I'm just gonna call it for what it is. And yeah, we just have to accept it, guys. We just have to accept it, you know. And we come back tomorrow and we try to trade it again in the morning again. We had the good read though. That's for sure. We had the good read. We had the good read. We made the right decision. You know, it is what it is. Part of the game. Part of the game. Are you still here, by the way, Sonar? If you could send over that video, that would be highly appreciated. Let me know if you could send it over to me. Because then I can also share it with other people, you know. If you can send it over, that would be nice. That would be really nice, my friend. Let's see. We got 120 people watching still. For the guys that just tuned in, let me know where you're from. Let me know where you're from. And if you like the stream, make sure to smash up the likes. That would be highly appreciated, guys. That would be highly appreciated. How many subscribers are we at, by the way? For the guys that are still here. How many subscribers are we at right now? That's actually insane. Let me see. We're at 554 subscribers, guys. Dang, that's crazy. When do you always trade? I go live at 6 o'clock in the morning for New York session, right? So, yeah, 2.5 hours ago is when I go live. Around that time, I go live. But what you can do is you can hit the notification bell, and you will be notified when I go live. Just to make sure, you know? No, 6 a.m. New York time. So I go live at 12 o'clock Eastern time, right? Now we wait for the 9:30 manipulation to trade the gap. Yeah, well, yeah, let's see. Yeah, I won't be live probably anymore if that if we have to wait that long. But if that's the case, it is what it is. Nice. And what pairs do you trade? I trade gold and I trade NQ. I trade gold and I trade NQ. So it's probably bearish for dollar. Yeah, okay, yeah, okay. It's really bearish for the dollar. Look at this, guys. What a sink to the downside on the dollar here, guys. Where are we gonna go for the dollar? Let's have a look here on the weekly. Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah, we still have a major gap here that they could come back into for the dollar. Right here. So you have a, as you guys can see, you have a higher closure and a lower open on the dollar. So they could come back in here. All right. If this continues all the way to the downside, yeah, then NQ is probably going to keep rising all the way to the upside to these highs. And it's just going to come, and it's going to be a rocket. What a trade, though, right? If you look at it now, it's really easy to say how amazing it looks after it plays out. But look at the amount of value that you could have gained from this position. Right? If it actually goes back to the monthly open, for example, that's a 1 to 13 hour trade, guys. What? Insane. Insane. Yeah, it is what it is, man. Yeah, we you know, we had the right read when it comes to like the VIX and stuff, and looking at oh yeah, I wasn't even showing you guys. If you look at the Nasdaq, for example, I mean, look at this, right? The moment we wanted to get involved, it just never turned around anymore. Look at this. So you're already at a 1 to 8 hour floating if you would have been involved in this trade. This is insane, though. It looks like this might all be low resistance liquidity. This is an insane trade. For anyone that took it, congratulations. Congratulations. The VIX is selling off drastically, like insanely hard right now. So for anyone that's in the long, you know, just do you, for don't take anything from me. But if this actually starts breaking lower and it wants to fill in this gap, right, the inefficient candle, you might be in a banger position here, right? In a banger position. Look at gold. Yeah. No, I already saw that. Yeah, gold is breaking out higher. Yeah. Yeah, it's insanely, because the news on the dollar is really negative. The news on the dollar is really negative, right? So that's positive for gold in this instance. Yeah. Yeah, you can see it here, right? So that's why I just marked it out, but I didn't show you guys. But there's a really big gap here on the downside for the dollar. And if they want to go there, then gold might just continue to rise. But this is really hard to be involved in this market, right? So you just have to, you have a BPR, and then you have an insane breakout. Like the real question is, and you need to ask yourself the question is, how do you get involved here? Because if you were wrong, you had a big problem. You had a big problem. So yeah. Let's have a look here, though. The 4 hour for value gap, could that be invalidated? Which one are you talking about? I don't see any fair value gap on the Nasdaq personally. So we do have a divergence at the moment, but I don't think that's gonna last, to be honest. But we do have one, pretty massively actually, in comparison to the NQ, right? The high would be right here. But if looking at the price action from yesterday to today, there is some major divergence going on. Yeah, but the 4 hour for value gap, which one are you looking at? Are you looking at gold? Are you looking at Nasdaq? What are you looking at? I don't see it personally. I don't see it personally. All right, let's look at the VIX one more time here, guys, so we can see. Okay, let's say the VIX closes like this in an hour and 20 minutes on a new 4 hour, and they come back up. This could be a potential continuation play for the VIX to sell lower and for the Nasdaq to go higher. I'm not gonna wait here for another hour and 30 minutes though. So what I will do for you guys is give you a little bit of an analysis what could potentially happen, and then you can make your own decision regarding the trading outcome, right? So let's say we close this within 2 hours from now, or an hour and 20 minutes, and price is hovering back down. There could be a potential long entry playing, right? The thing is, what you need to think about, like I explained before, what I'm gonna do. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna take the whiteboard again. I'm gonna do it again. I do need to get myself a towel. 1 sec. All right, I'm back. You guys still watching? You guys still with me? Let me know in the chat. Are you still with me? So I'm gonna explain you something here, right? Give me 1 second. I'm gonna explain you something here. Take this off. I'm gonna explain to you what I mean, right? So let's say we look at it now from this angle, right? We can see if we're looking at the chart, right? We're looking at the chart. Let's say we look at it from an hourly perspective. What is currently happening, right? If we look at it from a chart to the whiteboard, right? So the day opened up. The day opened up right here, right? Is your daily open right there. Price traded up first, right? So we traded up, traded down, created the structural shift that we were looking for. We tried to get involved, but we couldn't. And now we're trading back above the open of the day. Meaning that in relationship to the open of the day, what are we? We are in premium prices, right? If we want to get involved now, the best ideal situation would be to come below the open of the day again. This might not occur, right? There might be enough buying pressure for going higher and higher and higher. The question is, what you have to ask yourself is, how do I get involved here in the most logical scenario? Meaning that, for example, let's say you open a new 4-hour candle here. You're waiting for the first hour to close bearish, right? It's giving you bearish signals. The second hour, closing bearish. Third hour, internally showing you bullish signature from, for example, around the daily open. This means that you're trading the continuation model for the candle itself. If you look at it, this would be your candle, right? If you think about it, wait, 1 sec. This is your bottom wick to the downside, right? It's your bottom wick. And this would be then your body to the upside. You see that? So then you're actually trading the candle, as you can see here on the chart. So if I show you on the chart what this looks like, this is the same scenario here, right? So we traded it down. Look on the chart for everyone. Look on the chart. So you traded it down. You went up right here, right? You went up, down, traded it up. This is where we tried to get involved, right? Breaking structure higher again. And now we're breaking structure above the current high. So we're switching its delivery on the daily sentiment, right? Let's say we now come back down again. We try to get involved somewhere around here. Of course, the day is bullish, right? So whether or not they're going to go below the daily open is the question. So you're buying in premium. You have to make the right decision. Okay, when do I get involved? So for example, let's say price comes down again. We have a closure to the downside, and we get around the open of the day. We're looking for the same model to appear here. And if they manage to do so, and let's say they actually close back above an hourly, you can get involved on a continuation play, right? You do have to manage your risk. You do have to be really careful with it, because if you put your stop here, they could still go lower, right? You see what I'm saying? You're not in an extreme. You're in the middle of the day. But it still gives you a potential opportunity later on to look for longs here. Does that make sense? Let me know in the chat if you guys understand what I mean. Let me know what you guys, if that makes any sense for you. But this could be a potential play for a long continuation later on. Why don't you trade 930? Is it a psychological issue? No, not at all. Not at all. No. 930 in of itself, when 930 opens up, it's the cash session, right? So you can look at it from the regular trading hours perspective, right? Nothing is being traded now. Meaning that when 930 opens up, it is a whole new market, right? It doesn't mean that old price action has no influence, but 930 can do whatever it wants to do, right? So if it's not respecting structure, it might actually, do something completely the opposite of what you're expecting. That's the problem with 930. Like when I gotta be honest with you, 930 is more choppy than normal lately than it was like a year, 2 years ago. So I've been trading beforehand, and the moves beforehand are pretty significant. But does that make any sense to you guys, what I just drawn out to you? It's just understanding the candle creation, right? And making it work for you in this instance. So let's say we close this out and we actually come back down on, like, for example, the 4 hour. We close it bullish like this. We come back down. We come back around this area. We could try to get involved on the continuation play, but you also have to manage your risk, right? What time does the market respect the structure? Well, there's no time sequence to it for when it happens, right? As in, it could happen at 11, it could happen at 12, New York time. It could happen at any time, to be honest. You could say, for example, you trade at 10 o'clock. 10 o'clock would be in an hour and 15 minutes. And you look for the exact model that I just explained to you, right? So you look for price to go lower, and then you seek for some form of displacement or a switch in delivery lower, and then you look for the longs. You see what I mean? So that's how I do it personally, right? I have the 2 o'clock model. 2 o'clock for me means that I'm seeking liquidity, right? I like to seek either side of the market, mostly highs or lows of the day, right? As you can see here, 2 o'clock model, you seek the low of the day. That would have been your trade. And at 6, I'm looking for either a reversal play, right? So a reversal play or a continuation play, right? And in this instance, I'm reversing against the trend, seeking these highs. But this is also in relationship to the VIX, right? So I have a couple of scenarios that I map out in my head, but I use things to confirm whether or not it makes any sense to trade it at all. So yeah, that's the whole idea here. That's the whole idea here. My charts are just frozen. I'm not sure why. For me, they're working. If I'm, yeah, for me, they're working. But yeah, I'm gonna call it for what it is, guys. I'm gonna call it for what it is. I think today we did a really good read. Sadly, we did not get involved. It is what it is. Potentially, I will be looking for a long setup later up in the day, depending on where the location is. I don't know if I will go live trading it, but like I said, if I in the future make my own community and stuff, I can keep you guys posted after what the stream actually is done and stuff for what I'm looking at, you know? It's way easier, and then I don't have to go live for 3 hours again and stuff. Let me know in the chat if you guys would like that. Maybe in the future then I make a community. And just in general, guys, I think we did an amazing job reading the market today. Yeah, it looks, yeah, you know, I think it was good. It's easy to say when it works out, but still, right? Make sure to smash up the like for the guys that enjoy it. And drop a W in the chat, please. I would appreciate that. And then, yeah. Is there any more questions? Is there anything you guys want to ask me? If not, then I'm going to call it for what it is. And then I'll be back tomorrow. Then I'll be back tomorrow, guys. If not, I'm going to call it. All right? So give me, if there's any question, ask it now. And otherwise, I'm going to call it. Okay, no more questions. All right, guys. I appreciate every single one of you for tuning in. Be back here tomorrow again. Then we go to the market again. Hopefully there's a nice setup like this one and we actually get tagged in. That would be nice. But yeah, that's it for me, guys. What broker are you using? Right now, I'm trading a funded account on Lucid. And normally when I trade my own personal, I'm using Do Technologies. Thanks for the great stream. I appreciate you, my friend. Have a good day. Thank you, my guy. You too. See you tomorrow. See you tomorrow. Jamie, thank you. Marco, thank you. All right, guys. Electric, thank you. All right, guys. See you tomorrow. Have a good one. See you later. I appreciate every single one of you. See you later. Ciao, 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 ciao.